Benji, the ruler, street sweepers of mafia. I'm Mob ENT, CEO. We are live and in full effect. Today, we have a very interesting show. We are going to be talking about AI. As we all know, the artificial intelligence AI industry has grown. It is rapidly developing, and it is very important that we tap into this quote unquote machine, and that we stay on the front end of the curve to so that we will know how to implement these apps, these tools, these resources into our business, to make it more organized, to make it more efficient, to make it um, easier to streamline things, faster processes. Um, so yeah, so today what we're gonna do is we're gonna discuss real estate, AI and how it affects real estate. We're going to talk about AI and how it affects credit repair, AI and how it affects your business. We're going to talk about website and app development. We're going to talk about AI and drones, and a couple other things that I feel like is necessary that we need to talk about. And then again, like I said, we need to be on the forefront of this AI development because it is developing rapidly. All right. So before we actually start with the interview, the guest on the show today, his name is Domenico Hudson, the Entre Motivator. He is a artist. He is a motivational speaker. He is a multifaceted serial entrepreneur, and that is one of the things that uh, I connected with the most about him back in. I think we connected in like 2016, 17 ish, and the fact that he was a music artist. He was a graphic designer. He was a website developer, app developer. He rapped cars. He rapped buildings, businesses, billboards. And me being a serial entrepreneur as well, um, finding and having somebody that I could identify with to say like, hey, it's okay for you to have multiple skills. It's okay for you to have multiple streams of revenue. It is not weird for you to have multiple streams of revenue. It's not weird for you to have multiple talents. It's okay. Embrace all of them. So that was one of the reasons why we were so able to quickly connect and make shit happen. He brought me in on his print business in Atlanta, South Side, exclusive APS. We started printing. I started helping him print t-shirts, hoodies, bags, logo, everything, right? And we had business booming. You know what I'm saying? It's still booming. So, but we growed and we've evolved and we've opened multiple businesses since then. And now we are back connecting the dots. So, without further ado, I am going to bring on Domenico Hudson, the entre motivator, the serial entrepreneur, the AI expert, the web developer, the website builder, and the owner of Exclusive APS. Now, shout out to all of my Instagram viewers and followers right now. If you would like to see the full interview, and if you would like to see how the broadcast studio is set up right now, go over to YouTube. I am going to log out of this Instagram live. You're going to have to head over to YouTube. I'll come back in a few once we get things flowing. I just wanted to make sure I came live to let you guys know that we are live on YouTube. We're live in full effect. This is the Real Right Show. Head over to YouTube. Let's go. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and bring you in, bro. You ready? Thumbs up. Say you ready. Say you ready. Say you ready. All right. Cool. Let's go. What's up, bro?
What's the word? I say blink your mics, give it up for the Real Right Show. Blink your mics. I'm thinking we on Clubhouse, man. We on the Zoom meeting, man, or whatever.
I had a friend ask me, was I on Clubhouse the other day, and I was like, nah. I mean, Clubhouse has a little mess to it, but it's a lot of entrepreneurs on there making moves too. So it's all about what you're searching for and what type of audience you're relating to.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely got a lot of
Let
sales on.
everybody know. Let everybody know who you are, where you from, and what you do.
What's up? What's up? Definitely grateful to be a part of the show. The Entree Motivator, right? Born in Atlanta, Georgia, right? What I do, I help entrepreneurs, business owners, small to medium sized businesses take their automations and their processes times 100, right? And I use this and how I do it. I use it through systems. I do it through AI. I do it through automation. I do it through advanced AI. I got the nickname, the AI API Samurai, actually on Clubhouse. Maybe a year or so ago, right? But to be able to help businesses in every industry. That's why me as a teacher and a speaker, right? Sometimes it's about being able to teach people. I'm an app developer, web developer, all these good things, right? But to be able to teach our people so they can be a part of this evolution of growth, and they can be a part of creating these new products and these new inventions, right? For some people,
Yes.
right? And being
Yes.
able to take it way past just a chat GPT, right? I think that's
Correct.
like if we're talking about levels of a super saiyan, right? That's like out of 1 to 10, that's like level 1. But to be able to learn how to instead of exploring all these applications and what this and what that, I give people tangible steps, how to exceed in AI and in business, right, for the last 10 years,
Hmm.
right? So when it comes to, most people think AI is new, right? The oldest AI is a spell check, right? But one of the biggest things when it comes to over 10 years, right? I mainly teach digital real estate, right? And that's your server, your host, your cloud. So it doesn't matter what it is digitally, right? To be able to harness your own digital real estate is the
Hmm.
key to being able to navigate better in this, and even in this arena. Well,
Correct.
like people use Shopify, to hold their digital real estate so they don't own it. They use Eventbrite for events so they don't own it. They use all these platforms so they don't own nothing digitally, right? And
Hmm.
then when they utilize things like Chat GPT on the front end, right? You're still a consumer, right? When you start utilizing it on the back end, you can make money from the people consuming the same stuff, right? That's why all
You
these
don't even have to be putting in the work. They're just utilizing your resources and your setup to streamline their own business or their own services.
exactly. But learning how to implement a lot of these AI techniques in our business is going to go past implementing tangible things based on where we are.
Mm.
Because AI, you can have all the AI in the world if you don't have no systems, no, if you don't even know what automation is, the difference between
Hmm.
automation and AI is, you're gonna get tricked every time.
Yeah,
And
and it's not gonna make sense. You definitely got to have a system. So before we get deep into
yeah,
everything, I want to make sure we cover the bases because it can be confusing to some, and I want the people to
yeah,
understand that I have a large community that ranges from, I would say, you know 18 to 65-ish. My
yeah,
grandmother is watching too. She's in their 80s. So, first I want to, start with the basics of AI. What is artificial intelligence in your opinion?
yeah. What is artificial intelligence? It is basically, it is actually based on real intelligence, right? It is literally, that's what it says, right? It is
Mhm.
intelligence that is not real. What it that mean is artificial. I mean, when you tell some people that you're not official, is that a good thing or a bad thing, right? I don't know. Depending on,
Right.
it's the Real Right Show. This is an official show,
Depending on who's asking.
you know. But there's the thing though, with the with AI though, it is trained on, just like I talked about spell check. like spell
Mhm.
check is a form of AI. It was out since we was in grade school, right? But for example, my name, Domenico, right, or Entree Motivator, right? If I put that in a document, I mean, back in Word back in the day, even now, hell, it's going to underline it and say it's spelled wrong, right?
Mhm.
Even though it's my name, right? I know my name's spelled right, right? We're using a computer is a machine, so that machine is taught on a specific vocabulary, right? So
Right.
since my name is not in its vocabulary, that machine has not learned it.
Right. And I think
But
that's something
look,
else
but
that
look,
people need.
but look, this is the last part of
Mhm.
that though. Like
Mhm.
for if I keep writing documents, it's going to keep on underlining my name
Mhm.
until I go inside of it and I say this is a word.
This
I
is the
literally have
way.
to, I
Yes.
have to teach it. I have to teach it. Like now they may have cloud versions where once you adopt a word, it's mass adoption, right? But when
Mhm.
you talk about the machine, it was already learned. So the machine so once I say this is an actual word, now I'm doing machine learning. It's doing
Mhm.
machine learning. So now the
Right.
machine has learned it. So when I do another document and do that name again, it's not going to underline it.
Yeah, I think that's something that
That's
people
the,
have
that's, that's the
to
simplistic
realize when it
version.
comes to
That's the
when it
simplistic version.
I think that's something that people have to realize too when it comes to AI, that a lot of these apps and a lot of these systems were somebody had to train them. Somebody had to register the information in order for them to be familiar with it. Like let's say you ask it to spell my name, which is Michael, right? It might give you the normal name of the regular way that it is spelled, Michael, or the way that the owner of registered it, right? But we know that there are several different ways to spell the name Michael. So I'm going to give a generalized definition of AI for those of you who are tuning in. Artificial intelligence is computer science technology that emphasizes creating intelligent machine that can mimic human behavior. Here, intelligent machines can be defined as the machine that can behave like a human, think like a human, and also capable of decision making. It is made up of two words, artificial and intelligence, which means man made thinking ability, which means somebody, a man, woman, whoever, somebody had to train it to think as a human. With artificial intelligence, we do not need, it says we do not need to pre-program the machine to perform a task, which you do. Instead, we can create a machine with the programmed algorithms and it can work on its own. So at the end of the day, somebody's still programming the software or the system, correct?
Pretty much. That's exactly what it is. So when it comes to just understanding, even Chat GPT, for example, like
Mhm.
what people don't know what a data set, right, is a set of data, right? The people they use, right? Everybody from our governments, right? If we say everybody always got this and that about AI, right? If there was no AI, this country wouldn't be protected, right? If there would no AI, they wouldn't be doing research on cures and diseases, right? If there was no AI, there would not be
Correct.
a weather report, right? If if there was no
Mhm.
AI, it wouldn't be a lot of things going on. We probably wouldn't, exist as a country, right? But to be able to make it in simple terms, it's great for a lot of industries. Like even if I wanted to cure a certain disease, for example, a certain type of cancer, right? For example, if I'm just now, if I'm young, right, and people have been trying to cure for 100, 200 years, if I'm going to get started, right, where do I get started? Do I start by opening one book, or do I need 10 books? Do I need 100 books? Or what do you really start at? So, that's
Mhm.
why data sets has been around for so long, because it is literally carrying on the research of others. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So anything you can think about pretty much has a data set, right? But the
Mhm.
difference between a data set A data set is static. If you create this static data, it's a file that, it's on a hard drive, for example, right?
Mhm.
If some new research come out tomorrow, how it's that research is not going to be here. So a data set is static, right? So when it comes to when they train Chat GPT and it said, I don't have no more references till now, right? Because it was static based on where it was trained at,
Based on where
right?
what level it was trained, correct? Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
And the time frame it was trained on,
It was
right?
trained. Yes.
So when it comes to, if I was just trying to cure a disease, I would go back to all the data sets and research that somebody has already put in the
But they
footwork.
have
It's
already
like
programmed it. Correct.
they have already used certain things for me to get closer to our goal, which is
Mhm.
really the key to most data sets and research, is to combine the data so that it could be carried on to the next population, right?
Mhm.
So when it comes to Chat GPT, this, LLM, right, is a terminology. It's called a large language model, right? Chat GPT is a form of a LLM, right? But a large language model is a combination of data sets that
Yeah,
you can
we're
be
gonna get into
look that you can
go ahead.
access. Now you can talk to the data set in natural language processing. That's what an NLP is. So that's just a kind of breakdown of, the difference between, Chat GPT being a form of LLM, but once you understand what a data set is, you understand it's built on combining those data points together and
Mining
making it so
data.
you can
Yep.
talk to it. So
Yep. We're gonna get into that. I wanted to, like I said, I want to make sure we start with the basis so that people can, grow with us.
yeah, the basics.
With it because it's so much. And with us kind of being geeks and info junkies, we could literally have these conversations for hours. But I want to, like I said, I want to start with the basis, and then I kind of want to work our way up into the different types of AI, how we can implement it into our business models, some different apps
Yeah.
that they can use to help them streamline some of their services. So the next question I would ask is, why do we need AI? And I'm gonna start with the goal of artificial intelligence is to create intelligent machines that can mimic human behavior. We need AI for today's world to solve complex problems, make our lives more smoothly by automating the routine work, saving the manpower, and to perform many other tasks. Why do you say that we need AI?
Yeah, we definitely need some AI in our life. I think it's really about productivity. Uh, a great book I read is probably about 12 years ago. First time I read it, it's called 4 Hour Work Week, right? But it's just a book about, it's not about AI, but it's about automation in your business, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
about it's about your structure, right? It's
Yes.
about how, it's like a beach on the front of the book, right? But the concept is like, how do you only work 4 hours a week? Is not because, it's just some kind of quick scheme, though. It's literally about setting up a business where you can step outside of it, which what business should be about already, right? If we study things like
Mm-hmm.
the cash flow quadrant. I know, um, you know, but nowadays it's the AI flow quadrant. Let's think about it like that. But the but the main thing with the cash flow quadrant, right? Even as independent business owners, why we need it, because the corporations using it, and we only weapon. This is our only weapon to fight back against the big corporations, because they're using it, and they're using it to fire us people from whatever those jobs.
Yes.
Well, not me,
Yep.
but to be able to, they're building robots to do Amazon warehousing. They're
Mm-hmm.
they're they're building robot, people to automation, chat bots to answer the phones and stuff like that.
Yep.
They're building all these things. So if the corporations are building this and making millions and billions, if you don't have AI, where does that leave you at? If you don't even know about AI, where does that
Yeah,
leave you at?
it's
That's
especially
the
if they're already, getting rid of physical people in the main business model as is, and they're hiring and they're building robots, right? And
yeah,
then they're using AI to program these robots or to streamline some of these call center customer services. Yeah, where does that leave you, right? So the only other thing that you could possibly do is to build your own business or find a way to implement AI into your business model. um Give us a few examples of, if you give us a few AI apps that people can implement into their business. Like we know about Chat GPT. I can suggest Video. It's Video AI, and this is basically where you can insert long form videos and the AI will chop the video up and you can use text to speech on the screen as well. So I'm going to share my screen real quick just so you guys can see that. If you want to share some apps for them, that'll be dope.
yeah, definitely. So as far as I could definitely share some apps, but I want to categorize some of this stuff, a little bit differently, because it's a little
Okay.
bit categorized when it comes to building apps. I look a little blurry right now. All right, cool. But as far as my camera's AI, so it zooms in on me
Mhm.
when it needs to, right?
I'm going to pull up video.
But the biggest thing is being able to have the categories.
Pull
So
up
I
video
can
AI.
I
Hold
can
on,
give
mine
out.
real quick. I just want them to see um, this repurposing.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
No. I was about to say I can bring up a few different AI tools and we could talk about, but also tech, right? So I give out a lot of tech is the main thing I give out, right? But the main thing I get paid for, right, is to implement the strategy with the tools and the tech, right? Because the biggest thing is we get an app is one thing, right? Like this goes what from text to video, right? um, but to be able to create applications like this, right? Then it's about what technology do we need to create our own, right? So then it's not about the app no more. It's about the
Hmm.
technology, right? So with that application itself, if
Correct.
you see if you go to look at a resource, most of the stuff I talk about, you can find a resource on GitHub and they'll give you links to it. But if you do text to video, that's literally the name of it. You can
Yes.
find things that allow you to create applications like this of your own, right? But when it comes to creating utilizing certain apps, it may be one technology, right? Like Chat GPT. Chat GPT
Hmm.
is literally one technology, but it's 1,000 apps built on that same thing, right?
Correct.
So why would I go through 1,000 apps telling you about all the same thing that this one that they all do? You know what I'm saying? So it's about, I'm gonna tell you about this one, and I'm gonna tell you you can build on this one, and here's probably the example apps that you can build yourself. So when it comes to the framework
Right.
of building a powerful app, the tools that I give out is things, after Chat GPT is Auto GPT, right? Because
Hmm.
instead of prompting one at a time, right? Instead of prompting one like a business plan, for example, instead of prompting, if you prompt on Chat GPT, give me a business plan. How long do you think it's gonna go until it's not gonna stop? Only for a few seconds
Correct.
until you say keep going, until you keep, but
Right.
that's but in AI, that's actually called supervised learning, right? Because you're literally sitting there supervising Chat GPT, right? In
Hmm.
so what's the opposite of what's better? Unsupervised. That's just like a kid. Are you going to let him go outside by himself?
Unsupervised.
I mean, depending on the age, right? but in general, he was trained supervised before I let him be unsupervised.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It always started
Correct.
off with supervised, and then I let it become unsupervised. That's part of training your AI, but those are two terminologies, right? So how do we take Chat GPT and make it unsupervised, right? To let's just say business plan, same example. Chat GPT, I can say, give me a business plan, right? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Another great tool to take supervision to another level, Super AGI. Super AGI. AGI stands for Artificial General Intelligence. That's just in their name, right? But the biggest concept of what that means is now I can say I can go back to Auto GPT because I kind of skipped ahead, right? But Auto GPT showed the framework in which instead of me saying, "Hey, let me get one business plan," I can say, basically you got 100 prompts. I put this in people's WordPress and Shopify and stuff like that. But instead of one prompt for the business plan, I can have a set 100 prompts. So you give me your business name,
Mm-hmm.
I put that description in there, and then 100 prompts is going to come out of that instead of one. Instead of being on Chat
Correct.
GPT, supervising those 100
Right.
prompts,
Step
I'm
one.
unsupervising those 100 prompts now. So when it comes to Auto GPT,
Mm-hmm.
it just showed the framework of now I can make Chat GPT my worker, my VA, my
So
But look, but I gave out Super AGI. Now right before Super AGI, it was a framework that came out. Right, it was called Lang Chain, like LANGCHING. It's just a framework. It's apps that's built on it, right? But let's go from Auto GPT
mhm.
to Super AGI, right? There's a few things that kind of came right to go with that Lang Chain framework, but Super AGI is built on the Lang Chain framework. It's almost like saying built on Python, but it's a type of Python code in a sense, right? So when you put it that way, now instead of saying that instead of going, I went from one prompt to 100 prompts, right? Now I'm going to Super AGI. So now I can say, hey, here's the 100 prompts. Here's 5 business names, right? Activate.
Here's 5 business plans.
No, exactly. Off of 100 prompts each of those. So that's literally about 500 prompts.
Here's
But but
5 grant proposals.
but it could be anything. But this is the thing. That's not
Yes.
it. Though. That's not it. LangChain has also
Yes.
the
Correct.
framework shows you what a full stack developer is if they know how to use LangChain, though, right?
How
Because
to use
because
it.
we have
Yes.
we have Chat GPT over here with LangChain. I'm gonna just simply explain it. We have Chat GPT over here. We have the brain to the AI over here, right? And then we have the tools over here. So I know that sounds crazy, right? But let's just say
Mm-hmm.
about this business plan, right? Is now it can like the grant proposal. Instead of me doing all this stuff for the grant, and I'm not sure if it knows the business to even write the right proposal. It now uses a vector database, which is the brain of the AI, to make sure it never forgets its mission, its prime objective, its permanent memory for
Mm-hmm.
for an AI. It's called a vector database, right? But when it comes to being able to implement this with your tools, right? So LangChain, not LangChain, Super AGI. Let's go back there. Now I can say, here's 10 businesses. Here's the 100 prompt sequence. Here's my email. Send me an email of each business plan to me and each client. Here's their emails
Right.
because I give the email access.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say you can actually connect it to Notion and some of your other project management tools. So, and I can say created a 25-step project in my project management system for each client
For each
on the
client.
business plan, and let me know when you're done with all that. and then that's one
for
prompt.
10 different industries.
I'm
For
just
10
saying,
different industries. It don't have to just be for social media. It could be or for grants. It could be for real estate.
doesn't
It could
matter
be
what it is
for
though.
car and
When you do,
auto. It could be for
that's
travel
what I'm
industry. It could
saying.
be for anything.
But look, let's mix it up though, because Super AGI also shows you how the AI, all these frameworks, you can go play on the cloud, or you can implement this stuff as your own technology. Though that's the key to this. I'm not giving
Mhm.
people apps that you go out and pay for. It's something you can use the free
Right.
version, implement your API key until you get it mastered and create your own app out of it, or just use it for your business,
Mhm.
right? Or pay me to, I guess, do it for you.
Yeah, see, some people
But
don't even know what the API key is.
but look, like you was talking about with the with Super AGI. I'm gonna get to APIs in a second, but the Super AGI also shows you how to. It's a free web scraper, right? When you implement your API key. So that's part of the tools that I'll tell you. It has access to those different tools. So when it comes to web
Yeah.
scraping, you can watch property listings, scrape grant listings, watch grant listings, watch drop shipping products, prices changing, watching
Yeah,
stocks.
that's my
You
only
know what I'm saying?
familiarity with API keys because I had to integrate my Printful account to my
Yeah,
website so that I could do my drop shipping without having to do my drop shipping. Like literally
but
somebody can go on my website and purchase a t-shirt, a bag, a towel, a hat, whatever, and all I have to do is open my phone, approve the order, they'll make it, they'll bag it, they'll ship it, and it'll go directly to them. And all I literally had to do was create my Printful account, copy that API key, and link it to my website.
yeah. So I mean,
But
API
I wanted
key.
to do something real quick. I wanted
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was about to say an API key. If somebody's saying something, definitely tune in, join in. Share it out to your people. Let's get some education. But as far as Lucky freezing a little bit too. The API key, as far as stands for application programming interface.
Go ahead.
But when it comes to I might be freezing or you might be freezing. I don't know. But application programming interface. But when it comes to API keys, a lot of times that is probably the fastest automation there is, right? And but that is actually it's not AI, right? You can have AI and utilize APIs, right? That's why I got the name AI API Samurai, right? Because I've been doing APIs for websites for years upon years, right? But
Okay.
some of the simplest things like Stripe, right? It connects to our sites and our platforms through
Yes.
API key, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's and why they don't use why don't Zapier use Stripe? People use like as marketing automation stuff. That's just a tool to make it easier for people to build automations. But you're not going to use Stripe inside of anything except direct access. You
Correct.
know,
Direct to
um,
consumer.
so when it comes to utilizing an API key, big companies, they harvest this data. I mentioned data sets earlier because a data set is static information. API is live information, right? Real estate data. I can go get all kind of real estate property data indicator right now, data set, boom, download it. I can ask it all type of questions, right? But I got to look at the date that it was last updated. If it was made
Correct.
last year, if it was made 2 years, 5 years ago, and I'm trying to look up accurate property data, right? To sell my house, I'm gonna end up coming up short because my data is old, right?
Hasn't been
So
updated. Correct.
so when it comes to accessing an API, it's sometimes it's taking updated static data, but accessing an API that's real time data. So like for example, platforms use Zillow API, they use Redfin API, they use
Yeah.
all these APIs to be able to basically crawl the listings, because it's actually illegal to crawl every site. So most sites have a public door. That's like breaking in the back door, but they got the front door
Hmm.
wide open,
Yeah.
right? But as far as Some APIs you actually need approval for this access. Some APIs you may need to pay for, but anything you're thinking about, you can do it with an API. Like for example, in the credit industry, right? We can say, hey, Chat GPT, create me a credit letter removal letter to do this and that and that and this,
Correct.
right? It may spit out it perfectly, right? But then what? Now what? Right? So
Right.
then it's about, sometimes as a prompt engineer, you gotta be better than just words. You gotta learn how to engineer, right?
Yeah, and then it's just one thing for it print for it developing the actual letter, but is it going to tell you to send it certified mail? Is it going to tell you the order of the debt validation letter first, and then is it going to tell you the actual process? Is it going to tell you it takes 30 to 45 days for a response from the credit bureau? Is it going to tell you the entire process? And then with the systems changing so much, like how you're saying, as far as the prompts, are these servers or are these programs being updated? Is the information being updated like regularly? Because just as the systems change, you know, are these prompts being updated as well?
Yeah. I mean, it's
I
about
wanted to go over some terminology real quick because
yeah.
he went over a lot of stuff, and I want to make sure that, like I said, we're not like all over the place, but we want y'all to catch what y'all can when y'all can, but I still want y'all to learn some of the actual technology, I mean terminology that he's using, so that you can understand what he's saying. Now, general AI is the intelligent machines that can perform any intellectual task with efficiency as a human. Strong AI is the hypothetical concept that involves the machine that will be better than humans and will surpass human intelligence. Now, based on functionalities, reactive machines, purely reactive machines, are the basic types of AI. These focus on the present actions and cannot store the previous actions. Example, Deep Blue. Limited memory, as its name suggests, it can store the past data or experience for the limited duration. The self-driving car is an example of AI, such AI types. The self-driving car that everybody's starting to see now that's going viral. Theory of mind. It is the advanced AI that is capable of understanding human emotions, people, etc. in the real world. Self awareness AI. Self awareness AI is the future of artificial intelligence that will have their own consciousness, emotions similar to human. Now, one more thing, and then I'm gonna let you go ahead and chime back in. The different type of machine learnings, he was talking about this briefly. Machine learning, deep learning, neural network, expert system, fuzzy logic, natural language processing, robotics, and speech recognition. I want to go over the different types of machine learning real quick, and then we'll get back to it. Supervised learning. Supervised learning is a type of machine learning in which the machine needs external supervision to relearn the data. The supervised learning models are trained using the labeled data set. Regression and classification are the two main problems that can be solved with supervised machine learning. Unsupervised learning. It is a type of machine learning in which the machine does not need any external supervision to learn from the data, hence called unsupervised learning. The unsupervised model can be trained using the unlabeled data set. These are used to solve the association and clustering problems. Reinforcement learning. In reinforcement learning, an agent interacts with its environment by producing actions and learn with the help of feedback. The feedback is given to the agent in the form of rewards, such as for each good action, he gets a positive reward, and for each bad action, he gets a negative reward. There is no supervision provided to the agent. Q learning algorithm is used in reinforcement learning. There's also Q learning, deep learning. It's so many different types. And then I also heard you mention different programming language. I heard you mention Python. There's also Java, Lisp, R, and Prolog. I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure I keep them up to, some of the, name drops that you were dropping so that they can, they can understand the terminology that you're using. Now,
Yeah.
if you want to get into the different areas where AI has made the major impact, as far as businesses and industries, which industries do you feel like are have the most impact when it comes to AI right now?
Uh, yeah. As far as impact, it's impacting a lot of different industries. That's why it's going crazy. I think
Yes, it is.
consultant industry. I feel like it's changing a lot of that because it's a lot of do it your DIYers out here uh,
DIY, yes.
trying to build certain things. As an AI consultant, seeing even new AI people. That's like going to the gym. And then you see somebody scrawny and they think they're the strongest, but you got to have the confidence, right? But it's time in the game and time working and training, long nights, late nights, when it comes to I remember, I think at 14 or 15, I wasn't allowed to be outside and wait in line at nighttime for the shoes that's about to release or the game that's about to release, right? So literally, and I was fighting in school and all kind of dumb stuff, right? But ended up being on punishment a lot on the computer, right? But I remember not being able to wait outside to get the game, right? But being online, creating this Python code to try to buy the shoes as soon as 12 o'clock hit, like that, as far as being in my 30s now, when I think about, how most AI stuff is ran by a lot of Python code, because a lot of times it replaces Python code. For y'all that don't know, it's I know a lot of different code and languages, but Python code, what somebody can do physically on a computer, basically it can be programmed for somebody to do it, whether it's looking for stuff, whether it's searching for stuff, whether it's translating, transcribing, whether it's automating. It can look at 100 sites at one time every day, right? But to be able to do that manually, like throughout even evolution, right? We had the manpower. That's because that's all we had, right? Just think of
Mhm.
and then we think about they started using a horse, right? So we have 1 horsepower, right? Then they learn how to put the carriage together, and 3 or 4 of them, and what I'm saying, then it's then it's like carriage power, I guess, 4 horse. Then they got the cars where it went to 10, 30, 1,000 horsepower, right? But then now it's AI power, but how many is it? Is it one? Is it 10? Is it 1,000? Is it 10,000? Now that's now I feel like we're in that level of trying to measure what is this and what is that, right? In the music industry, they have things called audio gen, right? Music gen and audio gen, where you can. The other day, I literally said, "Give me a Gucci Man type beat." I can let you hear. I can let you hear it. But as far as being able to be like, give me all right, now give me some sounds in the background, what I'm saying? And then if since
Yes,
I didn't have it, kind of sounded flat, so I ain't had no drop. So I said I imported it back in. I said, give me a intro to go on the front of this. So that changes up. But in
hmm
that industry, it's if a musician is not using that, what's next, right? As a web
correct,
developer, app developer, a lot of times I help people navigate through that. So sometimes AI is not going to pay for all the stuff and do all the work for you. So it's always a root in what that is. It's so many no coders out here, but what happens when you need some code, right? Or that platform is down, right? Or you just pay that for the rest of your life technically, and they own your own digital real estate, right?
correct.
But
hmm
learning how to like they're making avatars to do presentations and different things like that. So certain people that may do certain shows about a business, they're doing animation, video game design, all that stuff, when it comes to generating different things. So it's putting a lot of people, or making people step it up or putting them out of business.
Putting them out of business, or is either making them step up, 10x their business, implement it, integrate it, or get out the way. And just from a little bit of my research, the industries that are mostly being affected by AI right now is the entertainment industry, autonomous transportation, the education system, healthcare, predictive policing, space exploration, credit repair, and of course, social media. Now, ways that it is relating to social media, you are able to create and manage social media content faster. You can gather social media intelligence and perform social listening. You can optimize and manage social media ads, find the right influencer, generate AI influencers, and chat and messaging tools. Um, Now, something that's fascinating that Domenico has showed me, he has so many different softwares and programs and systems for grant writing, for financial literacy, for credit repair, for real estate, and just being able to see him work these systems and
Hey,
build them from
look,
scratch
I
is an amazing thing. What are we
I,
looking at
I
right
wanna
now?
I wanna mess you up, but I just uploaded a video while we live. This is them actually working.
Cool.
These are
Go ahead.
but this is actually a tool called Chat Dev. You mentioned a social media team,
Mhm.
but this is actually a video of them working right now. So as far as they're literally going through what they're doing. But when you use things like Chat Dev, it's basically a visual version of all your AI bots. So as you can see here, these are using running Chat GPT right now. But as you can see, they use Bing and Bard and Claude and Llama and different things, right? But to be able to have an AI community work for you, when it comes to whether they're building your software, whether they're building your social media, Chat Dev, you literally see them working to build an application right now.
Mhm.
For my business, the AITM agency, stands for Artificial Intelligence Tech Marketing Agency, but to be able to have multiple bots, like you said, actually work with each other. Like for example, each of these bots actually have a persona, a name, a time to go to sleep, a time they wake up. They walk around. They have a visual look to them, right? It's
Mhm.
just going over the stuff that they basically, and they conversate with each other until they're actually
Real
done
workers.
building what they're building. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
real workers.
Let me see how I can move that around. Yeah. But to be able
Now,
to
what is a chatbot? A chatbot is an artificial intelligence. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I would say nothing. Go ahead. I was probably freezing. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just wanted to let them know, so they can keep up with the terminology. A
Oh yeah.
chatbot is an artificial intelligence software or agent that can simulate a conversation with humans or users using natural language processing. The conversation can be achieved through an application, website, or messaging apps. The chatbots are also called as the digital assistants and can interact with humans in the form of text or through voice. The AI chatbots are broadly used in most businesses to provide 24/7 virtual customer service support to their customers, such as HDFC, Eva Chatbot, and Vanubots.
Yeah, I build customized bots, man. It's all different types of
Okay.
bots. When it comes to there's bots for Slack, there's bots for Discord, there's buying bots, there's I do avatar cloning type bots now. Those are most advanced type of bots. Langchain, I gave you the framework of what those do. But the Langchain is used to build semantic bots, right? But to be able to have it trained on mass data and mass information without the integrity of jeopardizing that information. There's ways to implement those things using things like private GPT and LangChain, right? But once we start learning that these bots can be, most people use them on their sites and on e-commerce products, to be able to automate some of those processes, but a messenger bot is what most people actually think about. And a messenger bot by itself, though, is an automation bot. It is not an AI bot, right? So
Right.
if we're on Facebook, and you're using things like mini chat, for example, there's many of them. The messenger market, I build those as well. But when they're already pre-programmed for certain responses, it's not coming up with the information. It's stating the same thing over and over again because it's trained to go through those automations. If this, then that type of scenario, really. Uh, but but when
Correct.
it but when it comes to building out, those are great for social media because you can automate live videos and automate people, when they comment, or when people DM you, you
Hmm.
can automate those bots to streamline all those inboxes, get people to where you want them to go, right? But when it comes to
Call to
building,
actions.
exactly, call to actions mainly, right? But when it comes to building more semantic and AI bots, you may have 50, 100 pages on your website, and you needed to learn all that information, and then spit from that information at any moment, right? Or
Hmm.
permanently learn that information,
Or
so
whatever the word is. If y'all pay attention a lot on a lot of the influencers social media pages, their call to action might say comment money moves or comment info, right? And when you comment info, it'll directly inbox you a template or a link to schedule a call, or a link to join
exactly.
their webinar, or to fill out a job
So,
form or
so that's
something.
yeah, that's the most efficient way to get started with that, to be able
Mhm.
to at least start automating those processes. Leaving money, no leave no money on the table. But
Correct.
if you're running traffic instead of answering repeated questions and directing people to links, for one,
Yes.
when you get a free item, that's I do that for years. As far as web development, lead magnets, funneling people through an efficient system, like I was talking about earlier. We can funnel people all day and chat to them automatically all day, but what are we calling to action? Are we
What
are we
is,
putting
yes?
are we putting them through our system? Are we getting them, solving their problem? Let's put it
Are
that
we
way.
converting them into sales? Yes.
Exactly. But to be able to start the process of automating AIs and processes, it's literally about taking those things and being able to make them clear, and make those things implemented across the system, or that everybody's using. Because
And it,
if everybody is inefficient and nobody's using AI, somebody might use AI, but we don't have a direct system, or we
correct
don't have
system.
a workflow. We don't have a
Mhm.
so that's so the, even the framework of chat dev. When you get the thing I just showed, when you get a framework of 20 AIs, it's all right. Who's in charge? What position is this? And who reports here? And what task are you doing? And when it comes to
Mhm.
just a social media team, for example. Chat dev, for example, is just a framework, so anybody can use it. A social media team, let's just pick 10 social medias, right? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Clubhouse, all these places, right? But to be able to have a visual bot that you can log into your computer, and all their only job is to your designated place, you come up with posts all day long. So if you're the Facebook director of posts, right, you're coming up with posts all day long, right?
Right.
But 5 posts a day. You guys should give them names and make give them age and stuff like that. But there, a certain amount of hashtags and kind of things like that. But
Mhm.
then you got 10 of them. They're working all day to give you social media, right? Like once they get to that task, right? You still got 20 of them, right? Let's just say you got 20 of them. The 10 is just coming up with tasks. So sometimes, with doing this same process on Chat GPT, right? I'm doing it just in an advanced form, right?
Mhm.
Once we have, let's just say 10 posts, right? How do we get these posts to where they need to go, right?
Right.
But one of those things is probably verifying the posts. So having a chat bot that actually verifies your posts, to make sure it fits your credentials, right?
Correct.
And that's making sure the hashtag, making sure the length matches Facebook's algorithm and Instagram's algorithm, and
And
all those
community
different things. So
guidelines and
yeah,
yeah.
so it's their overseer. You're overseer of those social media people, right? I have a social media platform, a few different ones. Social Monials, right, is one I use, right? And platforms like that, it shows you how you can upload one file. One file. If you had the right format, you can upload one file and schedule out your posts for months. They
Oh
it,
wow.
you can do that for multiple social media platforms, but
Hmm.
the scheduling platforms, right? And the best thing about just a scheduling platform in general, I can give it to somebody like somebody that does work for you, and they don't have to get direct access to your logins of your social media channels for one.
Hmm.
Delegation 101, right? But
Right.
when it comes to actually had a friend, they deleted all their Instagram posts, man, when she got mad and she walked out and said, well, nope,
That's
let me
so
delete
messed
all this.
up.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But should have delegated her access, not the access. See, that's
The access.
the access, right? But the biggest thing is, a social scheduler that allows you to upload a post. Most of the time, that's in CSV file format, right?
Yeah, buffer is one, but I think it's
Yep.
kind of basic.
Buffer is another one. But the biggest thing is, having a tool, having one that you can schedule and that allows you to import one file, right?
Hmm.
But the biggest thing is, if we do that same development on Chat GPT and we got 10, 100 posts, how do we get it in a CSV file, right? In Chat Dev,
Right.
exactly. In Chat Dev, you can designate one person. Technically, it's a coder. That's why it always takes a coding, some type of format, which is part of prompting. Actually engineering it for where it needs to go.
That could transfer it to a CSV file, and then you could transfer it to different apps.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
So that's how we do it. A lot of
Okay,
stuff.
okay, okay, okay,
I
okay.
do the same thing with real estate. I do the same thing with e-commerce. The same
We're
damn
gonna
thing.
get we're gonna get into that next. Now
But
I
this
want to talk about how this can relate to your business, this whole everything we've been talking about. I hope y'all have been taking notes. I hope y'all have been learning some of
But
this
look,
stuff. But
look,
we
let
could
me. I was
definitely
about to say, let me finish
go
that
ahead,
little
man. Go
equation.
ahead,
So
go ahead.
I teach strategy. So I try to have people think about the strategy. If
Right.
I'm on if I'm on Chat GPT, I'm gonna try to teach it from a simple standpoint, instead of trying to use the super advanced apps. But if I'm on Chat GPT and I say, hey, Chat GPT, give me 7 posts. My business name. I'm giving everybody a prompt now. My business name is blank and I do blank. My business is AI, TL, and I'm a business consultant. I help business with AI, right? Your business is blank. Now give me 7 posts a day, right? For one post a day for 7 days, you know, and then it's going to give you each of those posts. You can put it back in and say make it better, make it add more
More
hashtags,
detailed, more hashtags,
more details, a little
a
bit of stuff
specific
like that.
subject pertaining to that matter.
But once you got it exactly how you want it, right? Say, all right, now put this in Excel or Sheets format so that I can import it,
And organize it.
in CSV file. So now it's gonna be like Google Sheets type of format. So now you got it, but having the right format, I have the columns that I'm putting in my book too as well. But
Now
you
that
know,
I didn't even know. I didn't even know you could convert it from Chat GPT to a CSV file and then upload
exactly,
it to a spreadsheet or Excel. It's
and I
that'll
can.
be good for like
That's
for
good for anything,
vendor list
any
websites,
anything.
uh anything, price points, business plans, budgets,
I'm just saying, like
contacts,
real
emails.
estate, CRM system, it could be good for anything, right? But the biggest thing is now now it's in a format that can be uploaded. Like even when you go to e-commerce platforms, what
Mhm.
format does it say that it take to upload products? I
Mhm.
bet it say I bet it say CSV. Your CRM system, what it say?
Most of them are
Export.
CSV. You have to,
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
when you export
So
them CSV.
so that's why it's part of speaking these languages that I teach people about, or having a tool that allows you to speak those languages so that you can implement certain things. Like let's just say, for example, for our real estate people, we could manage. I know some few real estate people that's gonna watch this, right? We got we
Yeah, they
got
on here.
we got 25 listings. We don't know why our listings are not selling, but I'm pretty sure. Well, I build these all the time, custom CRM systems, but I'm pretty sure we could take all of our listings, export it, and have it in one file. CSV is the only format that we can see 100 e-commerce products, 100 real estate listings in
Mhm.
one document, right? So, but to be able to get the AI and say, now improve these 25 listings and optimize them. If you put it right back where it needs to go, you just optimized all your listings that fast.
Mhm.
But
Right.
the biggest thing with being able to speak those languages, just with that same equation, having a CRM system, you should be able to import CSV file format anything. So
Mhm.
being able to optimize, so for e-commerce, you can come up with 10 product listings faster, optimize them faster. It could be real estate listings. You can export them,
Mhm.
optimize them, put them back in there, or you can create
Email,
10
email blast. Yes.
exactly. But that same social media equation, let just now we have a big old sheet that we can put this right inside of uh one of these social media schedulers, but it
Mhm.
could be missing images though, right?
And that's
Um,
not, but that's, I would rather only need to do that versus having to do
do
the image,
everything.
the videos, and the text and the hashtags like every
Yeah,
day. I
everything.
would very much rather having all of that out. That's the hardest part. The texting and the for me, the captions and the texting and all of that stuff. So real quick, I just wanted to pause because, like I said, we've been going in. So I just want to make sure that we pace ourselves because our viewers, I'm sure their fingers probably hurting trying to write shit down. But right now we're talking about how you can implement AI into your business models, boosting efficiency, process automation, improving speed and consistency of service, um, turning opportunities, new products, new services, marketing activities, and increasing your business value. Now, I do have some of my real estate constituents and partners from Keller Williams on YouTube, and that's tuned in right now. Can we briefly talk about, because we talked about social media, we talked about credit repair, we talked about your business. Right now, I want to talk about how we can implement AI into real estate, and then we'll get into AI drones, and then we'll close out into website app development, um, AI clones, and hackathons.
Yeah.
So
As
right
far
now,
as
let's talk about AI and real estate
yeah,
briefly.
definitely. So as far as I know we kind of talked about a few of those things, but to be
We
able to
talked about listings, how to optimize listings, and how to organize and how to create a CSV file for them. But let's talk about visuals,
yeah,
and let's say open houses.
yeah,
Let's talk about development uh, development plans for the developers and investors. Creating those presentations for plots of land and for businesses and commercial properties and stuff like that.
yeah, definitely. So as far as a lot of the AI stuff that I deal with, it's part of it's still digital real estate, right? Because
Hmm.
our physical real estate is actually even our listings. A real estate listing is literally a digital representation of a physical thing,
Correct.
right? But when it comes to being able to optimize and have a better listing strategy, sometimes it definitely stems with that foundation, because a CSV or Excel sheet is pretty fundamental when it comes to utilizing. But
Hmm.
let's just say you were trying to sell a property instead of listing on 4 or 5 different, 10 different platforms, having to upload this picture, upload these same descriptions, you have a CSV file that can be used by Craigslist and, different platforms to upload, across 10 different platforms
Zillow, Redfin, yeah,
make
Realtor.
it a little bit easier. And then when you talk about, utilizing APIs, for example, APIs actually streamline your data process. Like we talked about that earlier, but when it comes to an API, for an example, like we can get into an advanced equation. But if you ask somebody, what does it take for a drone to fly up the street, figure out what a bando is, figure out well, an abandoned property but about a bando. But
We can't use that terminology.
but as
Well,
far
we
as
can, but for those of you who understand, y'all know what a bando is, okay?
yeah,
For those who
but
don't, it's an abandoned property.
is, to find a band for a drone to find abandoned property, for it to, once it finds that property, take a picture of the mailbox, right? Before the drone even comes home, you already have the contact owner's phone number, who owns the property, where he actually lives, and you have an analysis of that property before the
That
drone even
property and the
gets back
plot
to you.
is.
So how would that even be possible? Like that's so that is the question, right? But I can break down a little bit, about some APIs in a second. But to the real equation of what that takes, it allows, I'm about to lose 1,000 people right here, but I'm gonna come back soon, right? It relies on CV to SSH to OCR to RMTP to CSV to AI to API to CPT to WP to VDB, right? That sounds like a lot of stuff.
But
Does
that's
it?
the transfer from one.
Automation to the next. So when you talk about a drone, for example, right? I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna step back because I just lost everybody.
I'm
Right?
with you,
No. I'm just saying I lost.
but
I
they
know.
need to.
I
Yeah,
know I lost 1,000 people just now,
yeah,
right?
you did.
But I'm bringing it back for y'all, right? An API, let's just say streamline the data for the real estate, for example. If somebody's, let's just say we get a property and we try to, for one, it's an abandoned property. Let's just say what we have to physically do, as some people do process wise. I find the property, I have to get the address, right? That's number one. So I have to physically go get it, right? I have to, for me, I have to identify the bando, right? That's the next one. Then I have to look at the mailbox, right? And then when I see the mailbox, uh, I have to probably get home first, right? And when you get the mailbox address, I have to, well, instead of skip tracing, because I don't want to waste my money to find out who owns it, right? Until I find out if it's worth me even calling them, right? So to do a deal analysis, most people would use things like Redfin, and they would use things like Zillow, and they would use things. Let's just go off of those, right?
Yes.
They would manually go home, get home, wait till they get the time to do whatever time they got to do the time, right? But then they would manually do this analysis to figure out manually what the inputs and outputs that I'm looking for, right? If it
Yes.
manually makes sense, I'm gonna probably manually go to a skip tracing website, right? Once I manually get to this skip tracing website, I'm probably gonna manually type in their address, right? When I manually type in their address, right? I'm gonna end up, manually getting their name and number, right? When they finally say yes, okay, you got the deal. Let's get our wholesale on, right? You have to manually probably look at the property data. Some people go to Zillow, probably copy them pictures themselves and the description on them themselves, but sometimes they manually doing this, right?
Yep.
To create their own property listing, right? And uh, then they're manually, if
Well,
they
to five different platforms.
but
Time
this but this
consuming.
but this, and this and that's what they have to do manually. So through computer vision, which allows the drone to actually recognize what it's seeing, right? Computer vision is used a lot of places. For real estate people, I say get your drone, right? Each of these processes can improve, some real estate processes, but all in
Right.
one. This is what allows the drone to do this, right? But computer vision by itself, they just implemented in Chat GPT V, Chat GPT 4V. They just implemented that. So you're literally able to take a picture of a property and it can create a full description off of that picture, right? If you say, give me a full, property listing, so you can start doing things like that, right? But if you want your own application to do that, right? Things like Lava, LLAVA, it's an open source tool, allows people to use it for free, right? But when it comes to CV, it allows the drone to identify the abandoned property, right? And how does a drone identify an abandoned property? The same way this computer vision, right? The same way a kid would identify uh, 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 a roof, or a kid would identify a roof. A kid doesn't know what an abandoned property looks like. We have to say, hey, or doesn't know what a giraffe is. He gonna say, first thing he gonna say, what's that? If I say that's a giraffe, it may take 10, 20, 30 times for me to say that's a giraffe. And then I ask him, say, what's that? Then he's gonna say, that's a giraffe. So the same thing you do with the talking agents, right? You do with the
Mhm.
computer vision agents, but you actually have to train it on visual data.
Training. Yes,
So,
yes,
so,
yes.
so, so when you talk about things like facial recognition, that's computer vision, right? It's you literally training it on your face data. But when you talk about some of these financial apps that take a picture of a PDF or a wrinkled up piece of paper and make it perfect PDF, that's computer vision. Like all that stuff is
Mhm.
computer vision. But when it comes to a drone identifying the bando, you train it on that. To identify high grass, you train it on that. To identify the mailbox, you train it on that. So to identify the bando and then find the mailbox based on that, right? That's how you implement, that process, right? SSH is just a version, so it's a live drone, right? That's just a terminology. So the drone is actually live through APIs, right? ORC is optical character recognition, right? If property people had this on the front of their car, doing optical recognition, that's actually what allows the drone to recognize the mailbox, right? Recognize the numbers on the mailbox. The same thing that allows the computer vision program to make the documents perfect is a ORC tool, right? The company is actually called a Tesseract. They sound like some transformer stuff, right? But it's literally a tool called the Tesseract that is used to be able to do ORC, right? It's a Python tool, another Python tool. But to be able to do CSV, right now it literally went from a drone reading a mailbox to boom, here's the property data.
The
Put in
whole listing address, the plot size, the cost, the market value, the
this,
whole
no, no,
market
no, no, no.
analysis of the area.
I'm just saying the first one is just to pull the listing. So now we got the
Yes.
address in the sheets. That once you connect those, as soon as it activates, that's when the API activates. It goes from CSV to API. So from drone, if the drone by itself, you go down the street, you just got all the addresses, right? But now it's from that sheets, inside the sheets has API access. So as soon as it gets an address, it gets a rental analysis.
Mm.
You can use Redfin as your rental analysis, or you use Redfin and Zillow, mix them together and come up with one good analysis that you want to come up with. And then
Right.
you can come up with a bot to recreate the listing to make it your own. But so now it's going from drone to mailbox to CSV to AI
Presentation.
to API, and then to CPT means actual custom post type.
Okay, okay, okay,
um,
okay.
so I actually have, I use WordPress and vector database, not vector database, custom database building. But when it comes to a CPT, basically it doesn't matter what type of data is. I can upload that file inside my system and I can see it now. So I don't care.
And then just add my logos or my
It's
real
already
estate
it's already my
feature.
system. It's already my
Right.
system.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
I, instead of having a Google Sheets full of property data, these are all live on my website. That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Post.
Exactly, because I can upload post type, almost like the same thing we did with the social media, but now it's
Right.
not. It's not. I'm not scheduling social media. I'm now it's a live file where I can view all this stuff in my CRM system
These are
or my
listings.
management
Active
system.
active listings.
Exactly, because I basically that's just visualizing the data. So when it goes from drone to system. That's technically it. It's drone to system.
Yeah, that's it. Really.
So now when it comes to organization, you can organize each of these deals based on maybe where they fit as
Where
far
you
as
wanted to
which,
go.
yeah, what percentage wise, what this and what this and what that and what this, right?
Mhm.
So then you may get a now it's from drone to an organized investment list.
Asking price, listing price, percentage
Everything. I'm
down.
just saying the last step is organizing the investments for ones that may make sense the best to go after based on maybe rules because you can skip trace the equity somebody has or skip
Hmm.
trace the neighborhood or the asking price versus the latest sold in the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood. Yep.
You
Marketing
can skip
analysis.
trace and that's market analysis through APIs. Most people think market analysis got to be 2-3 hours on the computer. No, it's putting an automation in place so that we don't have to do the same 2 or 3 hours on the computer every time. If we're doing the same thing over and over again, technically that's insanity.
Yeah. So let's get into AI clones because we don't want to get into too much. Can't give a competitive, you know what I'm saying?
But the last thing with
It's
the real
still be
estate when
yeah.
it comes to AR and VR, right? Having the drone when the drone actually finds a property, right? A big thing because this is not just really about drones, right? But when the drone actually finds a property, though, being able for that drone for you to know what an ortho mosaic scan is, right? And what land mapping is, right?
Mhm.
It's like that first equation for one land mapping most drones can go 3, 4, 5 mile radius. You know what I'm saying? So really that's, when you think about a radius, that's a pretty big block, 3 miles each way, 4, 5 miles, 6 miles, some drones 8 miles each way. Right.
Mhm.
But when you're doing land mapping, now they're scouring the land for you without you doing anything. It's programmed when you do a land mapping codes, right? In Python, it's programmed to go a certain route and now it's mapping the land for you, right? Ortho mosaic scan. That's almost like when the drone finds the property of interest, it creates a 3D mosaic, external. It takes a lot of images and it puts it in a 3D mosaic format, right? So there's
Format.
almost like a metaverse instead of you just having a picture of the front of the house. You got a metaverse that you can zoom in on the roof or that's what most people try to look at. Is the roof good, right? But to be able to have those ortho mosaic scans, you can literally see detail to detail what's actually going on with that property. And
Right.
and people you can actually get ortho mosaic scan inside the property too. I do things like Matterport cameras. I have a Matterport camera, but I do Matterport 3D imaging, right? And sometimes when you have a high value property, you may want a 3D imagery, and then it's COVID going around. People can literally view your property like this with 3D shades with VR.
Yeah, Instagram just partnered with Ray-Bans and they have some VR glasses and you can actually snap pictures from those glasses, you can post from those glasses,
Yeah,
you can go live from those glasses. So this virtual reality shit is definitely getting
that's
wicked.
and that and that's the thing though. and it's gonna get even deeper because these
Yes, it
came out.
is.
I've had these since maybe February or something like that. The biggest thing that they didn't have a camera on it, so I learned how to rig it myself because when it comes to machine learning, you want an outside camera, right?
Hmm.
But having your own on the camera over here, your own outside camera is important to be able to utilize, in the future of this technology. So I had to bought this separately to rig it, right? But the biggest thing is people can view your property literally, but sitting at home, and then I know Meta said it does this and that and this and that, but the biggest thing is this: I can plug it up to this computer right now, and I can run it wirelessly, or if
Hmm.
to have it does a lot, but just seeing the capabilities of even this one here, if I can access this through a computer or through my phone, technically I can do all those things anyway and more. I can post on any platform with these glasses on.
Yeah, straight
Because
from the
this is
glasses.
literally like I can stream from my phone right now and still be talking to you right now. So while I'm sitting here texting, literally I'm on the phone looking at it while I'm not even
And
changing my.
on live and in the interview at the same time.
That's what I'm saying. I could
Yes.
be on the whole other computer right here. And then they came out with the by themselves they don't stream like that, right? But then they came out with the beam. So literally this Bluetooth to any device in the house with my Wi-Fi. So sitting here I can play the game. Sitting here I can jump on my computer. Sitting here I can jump on my phone. Everything that's on the
Mhm.
Wi-Fi, plugging this up. So I already see how building out a lot of these games and a lot of stuff go hand in hand. Because when you
Yes.
talk about computer vision programs and softwares, that's the kind of stuff I'm already on.
Yeah,
Like
you are. You've been on it.
like
You've
when
been
we
on
talk about, let's just talk about an equation, right? Because Meta's not there yet, but this is what they're aiming for. Like when like the
Yes.
guy from the law show, the guy that be like, oh yeah, he's lying. He keeps looking to the right, right? That guy is trained, 20 years on psychology and some more stuff to
Body
be able to
language and shit.
body language exactly.
Yeah.
So if you go search body language data set, right? So now if you implement that in the camera, right? And the camera is able to tell me
Can detect it.
real time what's going on, right? You do sign language. It tells me what's going on, right? That you have things even like they got a thing called Webinar GPT that implements Lava, the tool that I gave you before for free.
Mhm.
They implement it in webinars. So if we had it on the side, it would just be explaining everything that's going on 24/7.
Yeah, I got a friend that we had a I had to do a presentation on via Zoom,
Yeah.
and it was just for me and him, but there was a third participant on the Zoom. And the third participant was an AI, and the AI was taking notes and shit. And I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Who is that?" And he was like, "Oh, that's just AI taking notes." And when the meeting was over, it
Yeah.
like literally had notes. And I was like, "Oh shit! Like, how did they integrate that into a Zoom meeting?" So the way
But look,
technology is
and
advancing is so out of this world.
but look, some things I can get some AI tools to do some cool stuff real quick with some AI. But like some Zoom meetings. Well, I'm at actually the AI space station right now. But like these are the simple things. But when you use the things like voice AI, right?
Mhm.
Try that out. They give you some free credits. But voice AI, you can change your voice in real time on Zoom. You can go pick Samuel L. Jackson voice, right? And I can be talking in Samuel L. Jackson voice right now. You
Mhm.
understand? But voice.ai, you can, be Wheezy and, Lil Baby and, Obama, right? You can literally test these things out, right?
Yeah,
Another
I just
tool.
saw another app that will change the language that you're speaking. Like if I'm speaking English, it'll literally speak Spanish while I'm speaking English. I can't
Yeah.
remember the name of the app. I'll drop it on my page
And,
when
it,
I
and it's actually called Seamless. The latest technology, AI on that is actually called Seamless M4T.
mm,
Seamless M4T. That's actually by Meta as well. But it is real translation, speech to speech translation, right? And
mhm.
the biggest thing why it being real late tech is because it's not in technology yet. The
Mhm.
technology is new, so new that people haven't fully implemented it yet.
Yes. Yep.
I did it in a hackathon, right? Probably about 3-4 months ago, right? But Seamless MT4, if it was in Zoom meetings, I could be in a meeting with Spanish people and understand what they're talking about in English, right? I can be in a clubhouse in a room full of Portuguese and Spanish people, and I can understand it in English.
You
You
could
can
be translating everything they saying in English.
exactly, like put it in these headphones, since this is speaker enabled, it or technology, somebody speaking to you in real life, now you can understand what they're talking about,
Correct.
in the way you want to hear it. So now it's literally with that tool, you can hear the way you want to hear the world.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So to be able to take away be able to help you create these tools, it's the tech comes out, people don't implement it yet until they like, oh, there's an app to do it.
Until
You
this,
know,
right.
the tech is too hard for us to implement because we don't want to hire the Hudson or the Andre Motivator, right? We want to, and do our DIY. Some of these things are not
Some
just
of them will, because especially right now, knowing how all of this shit is transpiring so fast, I
yeah.
think the people who want to be and stay ahead of the
I'm
curve,
rooting for 'em.
they're definitely going to be the ones, reaching out like, hey, let's go ahead and get this thing going. Because by the time it does come into an app, we're already up and running, fully,
Exactly.
like, fully charged. So our last two components that I want to talk about, and I think one of this AI clones was just so mind blowing when you showed me your clone.
Yeah.
If you could touch bases on AI clones, and hackathons, that'll be great.
Yeah, definitely. So as far as the AI clones, having to me it's an advanced version of a bot. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, yep, weird.
Yeah, I'm just getting my charge on. Um, Give me a second. But having a clone is like the AI version of a bot. I mean, an advanced version of a bot. It's probably the most advanced version. But having a clone for me, people. There's a lot of early Chat GPT, early AI people out here that's trying to do some kind of something, right?
Mhm.
But I don't compete with people. I compete with my goals, right? And since
Yes,
my goal is so high, I end up way above the race of the people to go.
way above the average
But
cat.
my biggest thing, I set this one goal, right? I think it was January this year. I was already doing some Chat GPT stuff. I'm already been in design for 10, 15 years, right? Already been coding different things like that for so long. But I seen this program, right? It allowed you to it's a great tool, at a certain point, right? It's a tool that allows you to upload your avatar, right? I think it's called Synthesia. My homie Flame told me about it one day because he's like, man, you be on this AI stuff, man. You seen this? Right? This is in January.
Mhm.
But I seen it, right? And then I end up using my Pipio, and I'm using both of those. But I got my Pipio, and then I thought about it one day when it was like, hey, do you want to a clone of yourself, right? Pay us $250, and you can just use your clone forever, or use your what you call it on our platform. That's your avatar. That's the word they use, right?
Mhm.
Uh,
Avatar.
but when it comes to the avatar, I was just like, I thought about it for a few weeks, and I was like, matter of fact, I'm not gonna stop until I put myself on my own computer, and I can make sure that I can be here 100 years after I'm gone,
Still
right?
working.
Still on the computer. So, and the reason I said that on the go, look, just listen to this though. It's apps out here that allow. I teach people how to do it, and I build applications, right? Creating your clone, voice cloning by itself, right? Things like 11 Labs and text to speech, voice to clone and put you on, Unreal Engine and things like that. But the biggest thing when it comes to the clone, when if you're why would I pay somebody else, right? When I talk about owning your real digital real estate, right? Why would I pay somebody else for one, to hold my avatar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And why would I pay them to hold my voice? And then, like some of these apps, I build these, right? Don't get me wrong, right? But if you're, why would my end goal be to build a business model based on my avatar, my voice, and then pay somebody else to rent me to grow my business? Listen how that sound though. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
just
when I,
gave them you basically gave them everything,
but, but
and you
look,
paid.
when I thought about it, I was just like, I need to. I can't bring this argument to a lot of people because I got to make sure that I'm able to break it down and show them how they can save their clone and save themselves too, right? But going on this journey, and I already knew about a lot of AI tools and techniques. I was doing them in marketing for years, right? But when it comes to doing research, right? Did a little research, and when Facebook actually, used to post a picture of somebody, and then she'd be like, "Is this such and such in the picture with you?" And you're like, "Damn,
Right.
how the hell you know that?"
How you
Right?
know? Face
When
recognition.
by the end of January, my studies had brought me to, I'm not saving an avatar on my computer, right? I'm actually saving my convolutional neural network on the computer. My CNN, my convolutional neural network is what I'm saving on the computer. I'm not just saving my face. I'm not just saving my voice. I'm saving my whole neural network, right?
Convolutional neural network.
That's exactly what it is, right? Like throughout my studies, I was actually on ChatGPT back in the January, and I asked ChatGPT. I said, "Does when I thought about what Facebook used to do, I asked, hey ChatGPT, does Facebook utilize convolutional neural networks on every person? It's almost like do they save our avatars? That's kind of what
Hmm.
I asked, and that kind of, and then I got a weird answer, right? It was like we don't save them specifically, but we do store. You're gonna get a weird answer when you ask that.
It was like yes and no.
Yeah, I want y'all to chat that yourself, right? But the biggest thing of a convolutional neural network, for one, it's not called an avatar when you start doing these things, right? Your phone is actually saving a facial recognition version of you, which is part of your neural network, right? Your avatar may be part of that, right? Your voice is actually called your spectrogram, right? A spectrogram is literally your voice in a picture format. Like your voice has sound waves, and actually you can visually see every voice in a picture format. It's called a spectrogram, right? But learning how to harness, right, your convolutional neural network, it's about learning how to harvest your own facial recognition, harness your own avatar, harness your own spectrogram, harness your
Hmm.
own identity, which is truly what that is.
But it is, yeah.
When we say if somebody is maliciously using your avatar and your face and your voice, how would you know? How? Right?
Hmm.
But since I've been creating social media, different social media type platforms, marketplaces, from the coding standpoint, aesthetic standpoint, it's cool. But almost every social media platform and mass platform uses convolutional neural networks to identify things, right? That's just like YouTube. If you use the wrong music on YouTube, what's gonna happen? I don't know. I don't do it.
Yep.
But the, but the,
Against
but the,
community guidelines or copyrights or
but
yeah,
not just that, they're going to instantly identify a lot of that stuff. Even on Facebook, you playing it live,
yeah,
they identifying it because it's literally
yeah.
there's not 1,000 people looking at screens. The machine is learning.
That's a genius analogy to help people better understand how you were saying how the systems
Exactly.
recognize even not even just music, but certain words and profanity and
Yeah,
certain images
exactly.
like
Exactly. So it's
images
literally
and
looking for those things all the time. And
yes,
when and that's literally what a neural network is. When I say Facebook saw your friend because he knew your friend before, but when it comes to identifying something that they don't want on this platform, That's the biggest thing when it comes to a neural network, having a tool that can search autonomously through millions of videos through YouTube or through
Yes.
anything. But when you have I feel like if we harness our own convolutional neural networks, for example, this is how deep it's gonna go. I think we probably gonna have to put them on the blockchain, but it's gonna be a lot of data inside of that, right? But the
Yeah,
biggest
that's a
thing
good
is,
idea.
like my voice is
Yes.
just like audio. How do I know if somebody uses my avatar and my voice out in the world? You know what I'm saying? The only way for me to even for the machine to identify it, for one, it's to harness it myself. For two, it's literally, teaching the machine and things like YouTube, for example. I can't make YouTube stop people from using my voice and my face. Technically, right? The USPTO definitely can, right? Because the YouTube has to uphold the USPTO laws. Well, I say the USPTO, we patent a book. I mean, we patent an invention. We copyright books. We need to patent and copyright or blockchain our convolutional neural networks. And that's the only way the USPTO gonna have to uphold the law, which means Google, everybody, Yahoo, everybody has to uphold somebody not copying me.
Damn, that's deep. I ain't
But
even
but
think of.
that's why
I ain't even think
blockchain,
of.
I need to be the 100% verifiable person of who that is. So when it comes to some
I
tools I can
see
give
where
out,
you're going with that.
some tools that I can give out, right? But for me, it's about living 100 years from now, right? So all the physical of it is cool, but we talked about the brain earlier. How do you ask an avatar after I'm gone the stuff you want to know, right? And the key to that
Yes.
is teaching it through the vector database, right? When I say memories, I tell it stories. I tell it, have it scrape my Facebook to save those stories or something like that, right? But the biggest thing is
Mhm.
another tool people can write down. It's called text to face. Text to face. It's a great technology to check out, right? But text to face is by NVIDIA. But text to face, all that is shows some live demos on there to show you how you can go from prompt to avatar's mouth moving, right? When you mix that equation with 11 labs, for example, right? And I'm not going to teach you how to fully make a spectrogram in 2 seconds, right? But if you clone your voice using things like 11 labs, even a new iPhone, you can actually get a 3D version of yourself, right? Might not be that accurate, may not, I don't know. But the biggest thing is you get a 3D version of yourself. Things like 11 labs, you can train your voice. So now you have a 3D version of yourself that has your voice, right? Usually things like Google not text to speech. Back to what we were saying with text to face by
Text to
NVIDIA.
face.
Yeah, by NVIDIA. It's a virtual version of you, right? That has your voice, and now I can make it say whatever I want, right? So
With your
if I
voice.
exactly with your voice, right? So but then when it comes to your memory, having these vector databases, right? Pinecone is one, we EV8 is another one, Quadrant is another one, right? So a few probably other up and coming ones, right? But to be able to have permanent vector database, it's like an AI Dropbox. Think about it like that. An AI Dropbox. You had all your memories and all the stories you want to tell. Matter of fact, your trust information, right? All in
Right.
this huge Dropbox, right? And now the AI permanently knows that. So if all that is sitting on a computer and you can come and talk to it, what can it tell you? All types of stuff, depending on what I
And you
taught
don't need a wheel.
it.
Yeah.
If you got a real trust. But
And
but
it's secure. It's to a degree, it's secure too. Cause I mean,
it's
it's versus you
it's
having it
it's
written on a piece of paper.
it's partly secure, right? Because if you had it sitting on a hard drive, for example, I don't want to just sit on a hard drive. I actually have other
Right.
plans, right? I don't want somebody like upload where you have to plug me in to talk to me or you lose this, or the house catch on fire, right? Um, I actually want to be able to go to other
Right,
metaverses
right.
and promote my products and different things like that. And my bots, my websites are
Hmm.
attached to my vector databases. So it's gonna know my courses, my downloads, my ebooks, my all my products. So if
Forever.
you but tech exactly. So to be able to have my that's my plan for once I'm gone, my virtual self is going to visit virtual worlds, which are metaverses. How important is the metaverse then when it's the digital afterlife, right? Right. I have a site called AI Body Double where I help people with this cloning stuff. But when it comes to being able to have that now, it's about the importance of this computer because you're right here now. So how is important is your digital real estate now, though? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
If you're sitting on this, right, 101 or 2 years ago, Black Wall Street, they didn't even have the capability
Oh wow. Okay, cool. Come on, bounce back in. Bounce back in, homie. No, I know we ain't even giving him too much game. Bounce back on, homie. Bounce back on, homie. Let me see if I can get him back on here. We got a few more minutes left in the interview. Let me message him real quick. I'm gonna call him. You want me to remove you and add back? Okay. All right. I removed. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Just come back when you're ready. All right. Okay. All right. He'll be back. Yo, y'all have gotten so much information on this show today. I already knew it was going to be a full 2 hours because when we have these type of conversations and when we're building, we literally build for hours. So it's always like this. This is like a normal conversation for us. So hopefully you guys were able to get some insight. We are doing a free training on Wednesday. We're going to go deeper in depth. We're going to show you the servers, the chat boxes. We're going to show you some of these apps. We're going to show you some of these systems so that you can fully understand and implement these into your business model. Hey, yeah, he's coming back. He's coming back. He's about to click. He's about to click in. He about to click back in. His computer went dead, so he's getting ready to come back in. But yeah, most definitely. I hope you guys have been taking notes for real. We're having a free training on Wednesday. I think it's gonna be around 1 or 2 Central. I would like to do it during the daytime because I want to do it from my real estate office so that my team members at Keller Williams can get the exclusive, the exclusives. And then those of you who are going to register through us free training, just DM me or comment on this YouTube video. You can DM me on Instagram, The Real Right Show. You can um, comment on this video if you are interested in coming to our training on Wednesday. We hadn't agreed on the timing yet, but right now I'm thinking Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central. We'll let you guys know. Bro.
what's the word.
Okay, cool. We back. We back. We back. We back. We back. So we stopped. We were on clone. We were on clones. We got about 15, 20 minutes left. If you want to go over hackathons, website, app development, the floor is completely yours, bro.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me get back to my
I think your
virtual
camera, yeah, your
camera real
camera's off.
quick. Boom, I'm back. Oh, halfway back.
Okay, yeah, we back. We back. We back. We back. We back.
Hold
We
on,
back.
not all the way.
There we go. The homie back. The homie back.
Let the
The
camera
homie back.
change it up a little bit. But as far as being able to what you said we was at, I got
We were at AI clones and we were talking about convolutional neural network, vector data. We left out on vector databases,
yeah.
and you were
Yeah, as
talking
far as
about, yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah, the
oh
vector
yeah,
database
yeah,
is just
yeah,
the
yeah.
brain of the AI, man. It's if it's an advanced chat bot, it is just the memory that is being used on the vector database. So it's permanent memory. I've used it in multiple cases. My ultimate case, is technically for it to be my Dropbox for my memories in a sense once I'm gone.
Hmm.
So to be able to have, thousands of things to remember, that's the end goal. But on the way, I end up, I might, like a client of mine now, they want the bot to be able to look at the credit report using Metro 2, format and using eOscar and things like that, right? But
Hmm.
me, I'm training that no matter what I know in the business, right? All the books that he gave me, which is 600 pages of information, we're training the bot to know that information. So
The information,
whether the
yes.
chat bot is asking it, but the ultimate goal for the training is for it to know that information and then ask the credit report all the questions that it needs to ask, right?
Correct.
So I talked about auto GPT, right? Being able to ask maybe 100 questions, for example. Being able to, for one, store, let's just say consumer report information or consumer law stuff. It's taking that to make sure it's embedded inside of the memory, right? And then
Hmm.
auto GPT, instead of prompting one prompt at a time, we want 100 pointers from this credit report. So, using vector database mixed with auto GPT is, could be using thousands of different scenarios, from to healthcare to real estate to all those things, like
Social media,
healthcare for
all of that.
like
Yes.
like healthcare, for example. I'm building a submission for a competition that Biden just released. It's a $1 million prize, right? To build an application to help out veterans and healthcare in the healthcare industry. And technically, I was a veteran and I was in healthcare.
Oh,
But
that'll
it,
be
but it,
perfect for you.
but it, but
Shit.
it, but as far as now being in AI, it's like, well, dang, they might be talking to me, right? But for
That's for
example,
you.
but to be able to have, just let's just say, somebody's health data throughout the whole day. You monitor somebody's health data. Let's just say smartwatch or smart ring, something like that. But once you prompt from that information, that's how you get the information. Just sitting there looking at your stats all day and your blood pressure all day and your, looking at the different numbers don't tell me nothing. The question
Correct.
may say, hey, is he normal? Is he in optimal health? Give out of a 1 to 100, give me the readiness level based on his average. Then it's literally asking the right questions based on the data. You know what I'm saying? And then Auto GPT is just a format where, if you asking the same questions, why not have the AI keep analyzing the data and keep asking the same questions, just like a credit report? Like, let's just say, let's just go over a small response. Based on this report, is there more than one name on this letter? Right? Your credit report should have one name on it, right? So the next question is, if there's more than one name on this letter, create a letter, right? Then it's, the next problem, create a name removal letter stating, the consumer law to state they have to remove this other name, right? Then
Mhm.
it's all right. Now I have a letter. now create this letter in HTML format so that it can be formatted for Metro 2. So now it's taking text on Chat GPT and turning it into a format that is, let's just say, likable. With HTML and CSS, basic just means format. When you're sending
Right.
letters and contracts, they want format, right? So learning how to speak those languages is just about sometimes instructions, right? And then when it comes to, let's just say, instead
Correct.
of printing this letter out, we don't even want to touch the letter, right? So how do you do that? Through an API. So if you look up letter sending APIs and sign up for that company or read those instructions, right? Now, whatever you submit can be sent off on your behalf. Right. So all I'm showing, and that's only probably 3 or 4 prompts out of asking that credit report that same exact thing. If you got a
Right.
hundred
That's
two
just for
prompts,
that. Like you could do bankruptcies, you can do auto loan repos, you can
you
do
can do all
mortgage
that.
loan
But
repos,
that's what I'm saying.
foreclosures,
It's so
liens.
much, it's so many questions though that you want to ask the report. And based on the response, it's an action put in place. Once the action is done, just because it's a letter doesn't mean it's in format. You format the letter, even if just because it's in the right format, don't mean it's sent off. If you want to send,
Exactly.
some of these printers actually have like I actually have a system where you fill in the form, boom, instantly one-click letters or contracts and things like that, right? But when it comes to sending these things off or saving these things, that's always the next step. So, but some
Mhm.
of these printers we have email addresses to it themselves, so you can
Yeah, you can
literally,
go directly from your printer. Yep.
exactly, it can go from prompt to print. That's how I
Yep.
have my system right now. I let other
Mhm.
people use it, so technically it's prompt to their email. But as far as my
Prompt to
own
email.
system, I can go almost any letter and contract, and I can go from prompt to boom to email or boom to print. If I choose to. But it's about what is the next process. If some of these apps say, it's hands off, then most likely it's an API because somebody got to send a letter out. It's just not gonna send it damn self. Now AI ain't doing that now.
Hell nah, you gotta do something. Shit.
It's it
Um,
might be a machine spitting it out. I don't think the AI sitting there licking envelopes and you know what I'm saying.
did you want to go over hackathons before we close out?
I mean, hackathons. I practice those. Those are just how I stay ahead of the game. Practicing some of these latest AI tools and techniques.
Methods. Hmm.
Practicing playing on Chat GPT is not how you stay updated in AI stuff. But as
Hmm.
far as being able to actually practice this stuff, and sometimes it's being around other coders that are experts in certain arenas, so that I
Yep.
can learn more stuff at certain points. But being excelling in so many different arenas, I end up learning more. Learning a little bit from them, and then building up my stack. And that's how I master my craft.
Iron sharpens iron.
And that's
Iron
exactly,
sharpens iron.
and then some of these hackathons, I practice my own skills, like a samurai. If you don't got a sword, right? If you don't practice, right? What happens when it's time for battle, right? And
Correct.
and and for me to create, a bot that lives here 100 years after I'm gone, technically while I'm here now, that's the battle's already started. So when it comes to building drones to do autonomous stuff, the mailbox is one thing. Soon they're going to be rescue drones and air package deliveries. Yeah, they're doing testing in a lot
Yep.
of cities. Um, you
Yep.
know with Florida, they just approved a lot of the FFA approved some aerial towing, right? But soon a lot of cities are going to approve aerial towing. So soon on the highway, you're going to see my drones holding the banners.
Yep.
I'll
They
probably
got the
print it.
self-driving cars.
But that's and that and all
Yep.
this
They
all
got the
those self-driving
self-driving
cars is
cars.
actually a combination of a lot of stuff that I talked about. Because
Yeah, you did.
when it comes to computer vision, I mean, let's just say a self-driving car by itself, or a self-driving lawnmower, hell, a self-driving vacuum cleaner. For one, they use obstacle detection, right? All that is computer vision. We went over that. But obstacle detection is a computer vision technique to make sure it avoids obstacles, right? You do it in drones, you
Mhm.
do it in cars, you do it in, robots, vacuum cleaner robots. You don't want your vacuum cleaner keep running into the couch or running into the street, right? Robot ran your grass cutter ran into the street and got ran over, right? But to be able to implement obstacle avoidance is one thing, but computer vision, staying in the lines, right? That's why so many different cameras going around any kind of self-driving vessel, because
I ain't
these
fucking
things.
with it. I'm sorry. I don't trust. I don't.
I
I
ain't
don't.
doing that one. I ain't doing the self-driving cars. I'm on the flight. I'm on the flying car
I don't
as soon as
trust
they
it.
land. I'm dropping my own flying car by 2027. So, but
Yeah, I might invest in some shares or something, but as far as me
yeah,
physically riding in one, nah,
yeah,
I don't
they
see that.
switching it up out here.
So
But as
we
far as
we
implementing
we
those things,
like,
it's really a combination, because if people don't really understand a lot of stuff that what I mentioned today, for them to even understand, cars and stuff like that. Like even back in 2015 or 16, I started teaching the youth, entrepreneurship and things like Raspberry Pi and things like that. And Raspberry Pi, you literally teach it how to recognize the toy to how to toy to recognize you, right? How to toy, robotics and they're fighting, how to toy, does obstacle avoidance, right?
mhm,
But those and maybe how to solar power that toy so you don't need your own battery, create your own remote control, right? Stuff like that.
mhm.
But when you put those things inside of, these real day stuff that we have here now, it could be an 18-year-old, a kid come out with the next, robo lawnmower
Yeah,
or
invention. Yep, yep.
autonomous flight, stuff. So, when it comes to implementing some of this stuff, it's simple on a simple scale, but it gets real advanced on an advanced scale. But
Yes, it
sometimes it's
is.
just closing the gap and sometimes learning the different terminologies on what that is, so that you can combine those different things. Like me, I treat AI like Mega Man. I stack mines on top of each other.
That's why I
Because we
wanted to make sure that during the interview, I did my best to translate some of the terminology and abbreviations or acronyms that you were using
yeah.
so that they can understand. Even it's still I'm still learning a lot. So, I've taken a lot of notes. This is outside of the last meeting that we had, and I literally covered 3 whole sheets front and back of notes. I'm still on those, but just having access to the information and like I said earlier in the interview, being ahead of the curve, and having access to someone who can help you to implement these systems into your business so that you won't be lost, when things really start to catapult. Because very soon, it's gonna be to the point to where people are really like some people are already lost, but I do believe that it's gonna get so advanced, to people. Some people might potentially lose their minds because they can't keep
Yeah,
up,
they can't
right?
keep up.
And it's gonna be more. It's
I've,
gonna
I've
be
actually
more data
actually seen that a
losses.
lot. Actually seen that a
Yeah,
lot. I was
no,
actually
it's going on now. Like
like
a lot of
I
people
was because I was teaching a lot of AI back in starting in February back on Clubhouse, for a couple months. And I had probably like 80, 80 something, 90 something people in my class. I was teaching, I have a course platform where I help people with courses and stuff like that. But I was teaching people how to, it was a complimentary class, right? How to use AI and build course, using my course platform, stuff like that. But just seeing the response of a lot of people, because for me, since I'm so advanced, right? It's points where I can try to break it down to a beginner, right? Somebody that's don't know anything, right? And then there's points where I'm building something advanced, that I barely understand sometimes, right? Or the most advanced person, like when I talk about that CSV, RMTP to the SSH and API, they don't even know I'm talking about real estate. but as
Right.
far
Because
as
I didn't, but
the
I knew that it
the
was. I knew you were moving information or you were moving stuff through systems. I did know that.
yeah, yeah.
That much.
But and that's the
And some
thing though. Like
automations.
I've seen so many people say they they can't keep up with the AI and they feel left out. That's why like for me, I treated life like a hackathon. So I joined hackathons, but ever since the last few years, so, I treat my life like a hackathon as far as solving the problem right then and mastering the skill, samuraiing the skill up until
That's
you
what
know
really separates the doers from the don'ters because when you see the shift happening, you realize that you need to shift with the shift. You need to develop, you need to evolve, you need to shift with it instead of moving against it, or instead of at least trying to learn where the shift is going or in what direction, so that, like I said, you could be ahead of the curve. But also some people just, the minds and the capacity of some, can only go but so far. So
yeah, that's
there
that's
are
what I was
still
about to
people like
say.
us. There are still people like
That's what I was about to
us
say.
who
Having
can
relationship
try to
with. Oh, you.
go
I
ahead.
think I'm glitching. My bad.
Mhm.
I think I
No,
was
go ahead,
glitching.
go
My
ahead.
bad. But as far as the like you said, people feeling left out. I think it's all about running your own race. I'm gonna put it that way.
Hmm.
If you don't have a professional opinion on what race you're running, that's probably the problem, right? But as far as
Yep.
being able to run your own race, it's just that sometimes it's starting taking what you have now, right, and speeding
Yes.
up those processes and those things so you
Yeah.
can get to your next goal, your next visions, your next thing that you want to implement, right? But just like you said earlier, it's sometimes it's having the friends or the people that's in that space or the people to go to. I'm a consultant, right? If it's by AI, you probably just gonna hit me up, right? But as far as somebody said I didn't either. But as far as being able to understand that having somebody to come to be like, hey, what's this and what's good for me, or somebody that's going to educate you, and somebody
Yes.
that can actually build what you're saying. So like in the midst of a lot of AI stuff right now, it's a lot of shallow consultants that can't do nothing, but now they're
Yep.
using AI to
To do
to come up,
everything
right?
half-ass.
Uh,
Yep. Yep.
but exactly, half-ass. That's probably the real word.
That's why I'm
They're
kind of
making.
glad that I've been building this show, over these years, because it has allowed me to continuously build these resources, build this network with these service and industry professionals in different areas, so that not only I can stay ahead of the curve when it comes to certain things, but so that my family, my friends, my followers, my fans can as well. And I think that this is very important to have, especially with things moving so fast. People should have a place where they can go and be like, okay, well, I know I can go here and get the information or the resources that I need. I know that, you know, okay, so if I need to build my business model around AI, I need to go to the Entre Motivator. If I need marketing, branding, or social media development, I know I can go to Benji. If I need real estate in Mexico, I need to go. No, I can go to Benji. If I need an insurance professional, I know I can go there. Or if I need a travel agent, I know I can go there. If I need tumblers and fucking pillows and stuff, I know I can go to Embellish Flavors. So just being able to be a hub of resources and businesses and service and industry professionals, I am proud to be a service to my people, and to continuously do this until I can't anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's necessary, it's needed, and to see the growth and the development that we've had just amongst ourselves, since we first started.
Yeah,
Back 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I say probably like 6, 7 years ago, right? It's
yeah,
out of
man.
this world.
It's always gonna start with a real bitty small idea. Your idea gonna be so small. You gonna barely be able to see what the idea is, And then out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be like, oh my goodness, this is getting
Yep.
huge, right?
Yep,
You
that's how
know,
it is, and I want people to understand that everything that is big was once small. So even if it's just a thought, if it's a vision, if it's an idea, if it's a dream, if it's a anything, a message, a download, and you feel your body, you feel your energy drawing you to it, keep going. If the vision was planted in your mind, the resources will be planted in your path, the investors, the sponsors, the whatever you need. If you were given this thing, it is your job, it is your purpose to bring it into fruition, or you're wasting space. It's just that simple. So I want to close out. Is there anything else that you want to go over that you might? I think we went over a lot of shit. I think we went over a lot of stuff.
yeah, they got it.
I think we went over a lot of stuff. You guys definitely be in tune for our training on Wednesday. I don't think we agreed on what time. I'm thinking 1 o'clock Central during the daytime so that I can be at the real estate office and my business partners and constituents can tune in to that. And so that, you let me know if 1 o'clock is good for you. If you prefer to do it in the evening, we can do it in the evening. It's up to you, bro. I'll be in the office around that time. I think we should do it during business hours.
Oh, workplace training. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm thinking
Yes,
like
sir.
Wednesday.
Let me know. Send it to me. But as far as
Yeah, I'm gonna make a,
so
make a go ahead.
you said what now? You kind of
No,
echoed.
I was gonna say I'm gonna make a flyer for the presentation, and we'll go a little deeper in depth when it comes to some of these subjects, and give you guys a little couple cheat codes for y'all, and show y'all a little bit of the back office and stuff. Also, I have my affiliate link, so stay tuned for that. I will be sharing that as well. If you guys would like to book him for any of your services, I will be sharing my affiliate link. If you want to remind them of all of the services that you provide.
Oh yeah, you was talking to me. Say that one more time.
Yeah, remind them of all of the services that you provide.
Oh
For
yeah.
when they
So
go to my affiliate link, what all are they going to see? What services will they be able to book?
yeah, definitely. So as far as if you're trying to get your systems in order first, system analysis, your website, your CRM system, your foundational together, your hosting, your cloud, your server stuff, right? The foundation of your digital real estate, sometimes, getting an application built, sometimes it comes with all that stuff, right? But making sure you have those things just in general, right? But to be able to get your clones and your drones and your AI bots and different things like that. You can also hit me up as well. I just found a screen share thingamajiggy. Can you see my screen real quick?
Um, I still see you. Hold
Am I
up,
sharing my screen?
hold up. Hold on 1 second. I think I see it. Hold up. Let me minimize this real quick. Yep, I just added it to the stage. You good?
Oh yeah, gotcha. I was just pulling up
Yep.
one of my super AGI prompts. I talk about a lot of these tools that we can see. I see I got a lot of little bots going on here, right? But this is a bot I made specifically. I make a lot of different bots, right?
Oh,
When it comes to a
mhm.
simple real estate one, I'm giving out, with Chat GPT, a lot of times it's just one prompt and people copy and paste these things inside their own platform, right? Just try to get the chat prompt. I'm giving out a super AGI prompt. That's what I'm giving out, showing what it does and how it works real quick, because to help some people in some real estate, maybe it might help some other people, right? I know a guy that actually teaches some of these
Right.
techniques, but I implement them myself, right? So Chat GPT can probably do part of this, right? But in Super AGI, I'm basically, this is the name, I call it loan numbers. I just, my description, I call them amortized schedules, right? So the goal is create pay in full, right? I'm creating a basically no matter a 30-year mortgage for 10 and pay it in 10 years in full, in 10 years, right? So create
Mhm.
and pay a, but if for y'all to know real estate, it's really about paying on the principal versus paying on the interest when it comes to an amortized schedule of
Correct.
paying your loan down faster, right? But for some people still don't know what those numbers will look like, for them if they have an existing loan, right? Or they're about to get an existing loan. The easiest way to do it, I'm giving you a super AGI prompt to get it done, right? Create a pay in full 10 years and more amortized scheduled loan plan amount of, got to put your loan amount, loan term information, to 30-year terms. Got to put your interest rate, got to put your loan term, you got to put your interest rate, and you got to put the start date because it's creating a schedule that's timed, right?
Right.
Uh, so and then I'm literally saying save as a file. When was the last time you told Chat GPT to save it as a file, right? Right. And then and then I told it to update the file with 10 years month by month payment plan. That's literally what it does, right? So for y'all to do this prompt, you replace the number 30,000. I mean the number instructions. I could have gave it more, right? With GP, this is the free tool to use, except it uses tokens, right? From your open API. So all it shows is, we're technically using GPT in the background, right? These things actually have access to tools. Chat GPT don't have access to your tools. So in here, I can
Mhm.
actually give it a coding toolkit, GitHub toolkit, generate image toolkit, if I said generate a house image of a house, I would have to do, image generation, right? Um, Things like Slack, email. If I want to, at the end, if I say, now email me this when you're done, right? That you have to give it access to these email tools. And when you click it,
Right.
it can read it, it can send, and it can send with attachments. So meaning it can send it to me, it can send it to somebody else, it can read all my emails, and it can send emails, right? That's just all, different tools, right? With just this bot by itself, right? It's just simple tools to read and write files, right? So nothing else, pretty much. And then that's it. Most of these other things are pre-programmed responses. God mode, that's it. That's big, right? So you have restricted and permission mode. God mode is basically going to do everything I told it to do until it's done, and it's not going to say nothing else. When it
Mhm.
comes to permission mode, it's actually going to ask me, like, let's just say it gets to here. It may do this, but it's going to say, hey, I'm about to up the file. Do I have your permission? Right.
Right.
So that's where it starts off. Sometimes you don't want it to keep going because it may not be trained right. So sometimes we start restricted, which is really like we talked about earlier, supervised. We supervise it,
Mhm.
and then when we know it's working right, we put it in God mode. So since I'm giving you this exact prompt, you can just automatically put it in God mode because it's exactly like that. I did not mean to do that, but let's see what the last run looks like. It literally says, boom. It talks about itself, talk to itself. It says, boom, its constraints. It's determining what tool to use. It say, boom, well, we should use the right file tool to get this done. Boom, we wrote the file already. Um, and it's a thought about it. Boom, append the file, meaning, all right, let's update the file. Boom, let's append the file. Thoughts, we appended the file. Boom, we updated the amortized schedule. Boom, all goals completed. Boom. So now let's look at the resource manager. The output is showing what it made.
Wow.
So when I go to it, I actually got it in Excel format and I got it in text format. So let me go to this other one. Computers and slow on space. I might have to delete something real quick. Can't be open right now. Give me 1 second. Let me
Mm-hmm.
delete something real quick. Oh, Photoshop popping up. I need to save that. Let's go back to it. Trying to close some of the stuff I got open. Boom. Let's go to it. I think it's say 31. I think my computer is. I guess it's full on information. That's kind of weird. That's why it's blinking. I ain't never seen my files blink. Give me 1 second. All right, man. Now I'm having some technical difficulties. So let me just go to the file. Loan. I was trying to download it again.
You probably got so many damn tabs open.
Huh. It's always something. Huh? I'm gonna search this name though. It's already named after this file. All right, let's see if this. Oh no, what's going on with these numbers? Is not even opening up. File format is unavailable.
Do you think if you moved it or emailed it, I could pull it up or
I'm
no?
about to, I'm about to, I'm about to send it to you.
And see if I can send it to my
I'm
email.
about to send it to you because I know it's something to do with this computer. I was recording my screenshot earlier and it just stopped recording. I think my memory is a little low right now.
You got a lot of shit on your computer right now. I got so much shit on mine.
I just sent it to you. See if you can open that. See if you can open that file. I just sent you though. Let me just try to close.
Okay, let me refresh. Okay, 1 second. It's loading, so something definitely coming in. Okay. All right, let's see.
It's not even let me. Google Sheets.
Download Google
I just
Sheets.
opened it in Google Sheets. See, that's it.
Oh, you got it now? Hold on.
I don't know if it's the full
You got it?
document. I said I don't know if it's the full document.
Mine is okay. So you want me to share my screen? Okay.
Yeah.
Something popped up. I see the principal interest and
Let me get my. How do I go back to you? Let me find StreamYard.
hold up. I'm gonna remove you real quick and then
Oh yeah, you got it. I think it's an Excel format. That's or Sheets format.
okay, let me do this one. Invite, share screen.
Does it show the whole loan?
Kind of, sort of, yeah. Let's see which let's see if this is what it was supposed to. Can y'all see this?
Let me go back. Actually, I actually just found it.
You
I don't see that. I don't see that yet though.
see this? You
It's
got
loaded.
it
It's
on
loaded. I got it though.
your end?
You said what? Yeah, I found it already.
Yeah,
You go in and out.
mine is still okay. So let me pull this off then. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Start
Let me share mine. I think I sent
sharing
you the same file. I gotta go
screen
back
and
to
then
it.
add you. Let me kick myself out and then go back to
Stop
you.
screen. I'm still sharing already.
I just added you
I'm
back.
still
I'm
sharing.
off.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Would you want me to exit off?
No. I just ain't seen that.
Yeah, you are there now.
Oh, no, that's a real estate extraction. Wrong thing. Hold on. Do a lot of stuff.
I got a small itemized long blueprint that showed.
I'm just going to my downloads. I already had
What did it
downloaded.
say? Like 350 for 330 30-year term. Payments 1792.81. Principal 530.56.
Boom. This is what it created. Loan plan number 1. See, 30 years, 330, 5 point. And you see, this is 10 years, almost 10 years.
Yeah, that looks more like it. Yeah, that look more like it.
So and just to test it, right? Sometimes you got to reverse engineer it on Chat GPT, right? If I take these
To
things
do the
here
math to make
and I
sure.
say exactly, if I say you know, use your Chat GPT to reverse engineer what you wrong one. Chat. So if you say, boom, this is the loan amount. What is the total payments with interest if I pay month by month? Boom. So basically saying if you pay this 30-year loan every month by month.
Oh, they breaking it all the way down.
Exactly.
Terminology and all.
I'm asking for numbers. It's doing everything but giving me the numbers.
Right.
Total. See, this is
Total amount per month.
After 30 years. Dang, they want all the whole months to written down. They come on, man, we already went through this. Oh my goodness.
We got it though.
This, what is the total? Oh man, I can't be beat by no technology. What is the total amount paid after 30 years? And if they don't give me a freaking number, dang, this don't make no sense right now.
You gave them the amount of the years, the amount of the principal, and the interest rate, and this.
Okay, what? Matter of fact, what is the total costs with all interest. See, that's why they don't want you to pay your stuff down faster, man, because ChatGPT just don't even want to give you this kind of information, man. What is the total cost with all interest after 30 years paying month to month? See, man, I just gave you all the numbers. Stop playing around. Give me.
It's AI for you.
See, and I'm live. I gotta quit the numbers because we over here sitting here live. I can't be getting all these weird
No, it's
answers.
cool. We get it.
Okay, boom. Total interest paid after 30 years. Come on, man. Just give me the interest then.
Also, it tells you what keywords to use
I mean,
to
it's
get.
basically giving me everything I don't want. So I'm trying to get.
What you do want. But we got
um,
the plan though,
this
so
is this is this is this is crazy, right?
we got the
Um,
plan though. Refer back to the plan. If we have to do it manually, this
yes.
is just
See,
one.
that's exactly why I give you Super AGI because it's giving you the fastest way to go on and pay that fast down based on month by month plan instead of ChatGPT going all around and about.
So you guys, he got the plan from Super AGI. Super
Yeah, Super
AGI.
AGI. I created that prompt from Super
Super
AGI to
AGI.
create the amortized schedule to turn 30 years to 10 years in a few seconds, and with that payment schedule. Total. Oh my goodness. These
It's
things
cool.
driving me, irking me. Yeah, see this AI
We
is
understand this AI, bro.
you see how it's getting more and more complicated. This don't make no sense.
It's cool. We understand.
Minus
And you giving so much. We've given so much value already.
minus principle. So I was gonna tell people figured the part out, but the prompt is a perfect prompt. So figuring out how to reverse
Yeah,
engineer.
we can.
Technically, if you're gonna pay month to month, on the minimal amount on your loan anyway, you shouldn't have to reverse engineer anything. Just keep doing the minimum to get by.
I mean, if you
But
did the math yourself, you really wouldn't need AI to do it. You could really just do the math yourself,
yeah,
and
it's definitely a way to
if
do the
it adds
math.
up,
Or just when you have a certain budget, right? Just have that a set
go
budget
off of the
ready to
budget. Yes,
pay on your principal. It's not about
and then
having it.
what y'all also have to understand is that these are computers, okay, and you can't expect it to do everything. There might
It ain't
be a
gonna pay your
glitch or
mortgage. They ain't gonna
two.
pay your mortgage for you.
Yeah, they gonna pay it for you. They gonna so
But the next step
just
in
keep
that
that in mind, you guys.
I
But
actually created another one to add on to that. Because
yeah.
technically people take these processes and do whatever they want. For me, it was literally generating those 10 years worth of dates, less than 10 years. But there's still dates sitting
Mhm,
in Chat GPT. So the next way that I implemented is I created a super AGI and added on another prompt to basically
mhm.
format it in iCal or ICS format, right? So now I can put every single one of those dates for 10 years and upload it in a calendar.
Mhm.
So
And
now
just
I can
switch
be
the amounts and the
and
dates.
look exactly. So now you have 10 years, you have a 30-year mortgage. Now you have a calendar to pay it in 10 years. And now you upload that in your actual calendar, right? And then I created another super AGI to
I can
create
look at it.
uh,
I can lock it into my buyer's presentation too for my clients.
exactly. But this is the thing. And then I created another super AGI to duplicate every single one of those appointment dates and 3 days before I put those. So, it could be 10 years, right? 10 years of payments times 12, that's 120, right? Having
Mm.
120 calendar dates to pay it, and then double that times two, and that makes 240 calendar dates. But the reason why, because those are just reminder dates of the day that you
Reminders.
pay.
Yeah,
So
that
now
that is
it goes
that your payment is coming.
exactly. So now it goes from Super AGI, and Super AGI you can actually give it access to your calendar, right? That was actually one of the tools. So
It's
now
like
with
a
the
notif
equation,
it's like a notification to pay before the statement date.
so that's what I'm saying. So now you go from here's my what I owe on my house, here's my interest rate, and here's the time period, and boom, it goes from one click to planned out on your whole calendar for the next 10 years. And with reminders to the date that it's supposed to be reminded of. So you go from prompt to 10 years worth.
Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hopefully he'll pop back. Y'all, this has been so informative. We're gonna bring him back and we're gonna close it out. We've really been on for 2.5 hours. We're about to bring you back on,
Maybe I
bro.
was talking too saucy,
Okay,
man.
cool.
I don't know
Good.
what happened, man. Maybe I was talking too saucy. I don't know.
It did that twice. Well, no, the first time your shit,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
battery
yeah.
went
I
dead,
had
right?
a little power outage.
I
I thought I
thought I
plugged my
thought we
phone.
was
I thought
dropping
I
too
plugged my
much
computer
game. I
up.
thought we was dropping too much game.
I thought I put my computer up earlier, but I ended up plugging up the other charger that wasn't even plugged up to my computer. But then, basically going from prompt to years planned out to pay your mortgage down faster. That's from prompt to financial freedom.
I mean, it's
You know
still
what I'm saying?
a great tool, especially for budgeting, for planning,
That's just one
because
implementation on how to use, Super AGI and take it
yeah,
go from prompt to boom, it's on your calendar set and planned out for 10 years. You
it's
know what
in
I'm
a
saying?
business, it's in a business plan, and it's in a business plan, it's in a buyer's presentation. It could that's just that. It could also be a budget plan for when you're applying for a grant. They want to know what you're
That's
gonna do
that's
with this
exactly
hundred
what
thousand.
it's for.
They want to know what you're gonna do with this $100,000, so they need you to itemize it. Paying off
Exactly.
a mortgage loan, or paying off a auto loan, paying off a student loan, how to save us X amount of money per month to achieve this
But it's
specific,
but it's and it's
large
hundreds of use
purchase.
cases. It's
Yeah,
hundreds of use
yeah,
cases. When I try to explain to people,
it
they be like,
is.
"Well, how can it help my industry?" I'm like, "Well, what industry you in?" You know what I'm saying? It's literally about the real the use
Man,
cases.
any industry, if you really like, if you have an open mind and you see what we're doing, or what it does, how these systems can be implemented into damn near any industry. The same thing he just did for that, he could implement that in a travel agency or a travel industry. Give me the top 20 destinations in the world, or give me the top 10 countries with the cheapest rent. Give me the top five places that have the easiest visa process. Give
or
me the
or
top
or
10 safest.
or
Give
you
me the top 10 safest destinations.
yeah or you using a bot to scrape your clients websites and their social media so that you can get a sentiment analysis on who they are so that you could advertise the places they would actually want to go based on who
Oh
they
my
are.
God. Based on the information that was collected from their page.
Yeah, they might have been talking about Puerto Rico for 5 years. If you get a
That's
bot to scrape
deep.
them, that's called sentiment analysis.
I would be interested in seeing what it comes up with off of my page, because
But look, but they
I got
but
some
just
dope shit on my
but
page.
just that right there by itself, you can use it for any industry as well. Like
You
I've
said
actually
a
seen
sentiment analysis?
sentiment analysis. That's an AI tool. I mean, AI training technique. But let's just say, for example, Some part of it is, we talk about computer vision, sometimes sentiment analysis, it takes all those different things. But mixing with a web scraper, now I can go to your social media, for example, and I might be a product, I might be a business, and I might want you to be an affiliate or a brand sponsor. They use those tools to scrape your site to see if you're a fit, right? Let's just say I was renting
If
out my
you're fit
car.
for it, yes.
Let's just say I was renting out my car, and somebody gave me their social media to see if they're rent. And
Ooh.
my bot scrapes their site and sees guns and stupidity. Do
They're not gonna be a good fit.
that based on my evaluation, based on my bot's evaluation,
That's
I'm pretty sure they're not a good
genius.
fit. But look, it gets even deeper though. Like when you start actually learning people and learning how to dissect people, then it's, let me go to your profile and figure out what disc personality you are. So, like corporate companies don't go by zodiac signs. They go by professional personality type tests,
That's
like
a dope security measure.
but like exactly. So but to be able to tell, like sentiment analysis, I even seen it in sales, where it's scraping the site before you get on the site with the client, so you can understand who they are as a person. And but for example, if you're if I understand if you're a certain type of personality type that receives well better a certain type of way, now I can cater my presentation based on your personality type. So when it comes to doing sentiment analysis and in real time doing dissecting of that client, whether it's
That
their
is
actual
so
sentiment,
genius. You could
like
do
like a
that.
like a kid talking to a robot, right? About maybe their head hurting, or how their day is going. Let's just say it's a toy to say how your day is going. That robot detects sentiment analysis. So if that kid is not showing showing one, twos, and threes, like his morale is real low, you got to let us know immediately. So for example,
That's
it's
a
talking
great.
it's understanding the analysis, the sentiment analysis of the human, and letting me know when I need to interfere. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to use just that same thing with web scraping, you can do it for profiles and
That
personality
is
and
a great idea
client
when it comes to
dissecting,
like
and you know
partnering with people, group crowdfunding and group economics and stuff like that. Being able to scan and screen people's page, and
exactly
that's
for
dope. I never
interview, for a
thought about it
job,
like that.
for a job, for an interview, for all
Yeah,
that stuff. Like
especially when
that's
you're
literally
bringing
a
them on
bot.
board with your business.
That's
Hell
a
yeah.
web scraper mixed with sentiment analysis, like just like the tool I just showed you, Super AGI. It has a web scraper and it has a bot that you can say the word sentiment analysis, right? So now you can say, Super AGI. Here's your scraping tool. Here's the 5 people that want to get a job with me, right? Based on these 5 people that want to get a job, break down the top 2 that you think deserve a job based on their profile, sentiment analysis, and professionalism. You see how simple that is? Now I'm reviewing 5 people's scraping their whole sites, their whole social media, and then technically I'm making an assumption. Technically, as far as so I can save time, really, right? But
Yeah.
but you can do that in all different
And
types of.
money.
So
Yeah, I mean, like knowing how people are operating these days, and with so much weird shit going on, I wouldn't be surprised if I implement that in my scouting. You know,
yeah,
when my business gets big enough to hire more people on and to start delegating tasks, because I know soon that the workload is going to be so heavy that I'm going to have to hire more people. But
that's
this
how it
is a
is.
great way to screen.
Automate,
This is a
delegate,
great way to screen.
AI it up.
I appreciate this, man. Let everybody know how they can follow you and contact you if they want to book you for any of your services.
Yeah, definitely, man. If y'all booking booking speaking gigs, y'all can you need a speaker or a teacher to teach your AI workplace. Get some AI in your workplace, some more automations, right? Definitely hit up the Real Right Show for the for the bookings. But as far as check me out on Instagram, Entree Motivator. I also have sites, right? You can check me out on entremotivator.com as well. But to be able to show and demo some of the cool things that I do, check me out there. It's probably the best place, right? Or info at entremotivator.com. It's probably a good email, right? But besides that, I help people do things faster, better, a lot of times to, fight back these corporate companies that's building these machines. As you can see, just the stuff I know. Imagine these $1 million companies. They're
Yep.
literally training robots to get rid of humans. And if the humans aren't capable, what do? They let them go, right? Even some of these AI companies that's building
Yep.
AI, they let them go after it is built. So
Yep.
me, I just I help the little people and the big people. So as the AI API samurai, I'm real skilled. So sometimes it's I teach people and teach people so they can harness these skills themselves, and not just be able to not play around on these apps. We have to be a part of the evolution. Being part of it doesn't mean playing on Chat GPT all day, right? That's not being
Right.
part of it, right? Being able to make money, and sometimes it's implementing it in our business, and sometimes it's reselling the AI itself. It
Reselling
goes.
the yes, yes, yes.
Exactly. So when I talked about generating, for example, a credit letter, I'm not selling no credit letter or real estate stuff. Technically, that's what you get. But some people in Chat GPT, they may bottle up a whole 10 prompts and 100 prompts and try to sell it, right? Me, technically, in my app, I'm selling a click of a button. It's like Chuck E. Cheese. You can click 1,000 buttons until you run out of
Hmm.
coins, right? But to be able to harness
Yep.
AI for our own applications, that's the biggest thing. Sometimes it's jumping out here and doing it. If we already have WordPresses and Shopify's and things like that, it's time to step your game up, because they use AI for SEO and market analysis, and everything you can think about, from e-commerce to rentals and all those things. So if we're not utilizing something to get us ahead, then most likely we're falling behind. So
You're gonna be left behind.
being left behind, don't
Period.
be left behind.
Period. Point blank. So we talked about AI and how it relates to social media, real estate, credit repair, how you can implement it into your business. We talked about AI drones, AI clones, hackathons, how it relates to the entertainment industry, autonomous transportation, the education system, healthcare, predictive policing, credit repair, social media. We talked about so many different types of AI, machine learning, Q learning, supervised, unsupervised. We talked about different clouds. We talked about text to speech, text to space. Um, this was all things AI. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys would like to be on the webinar on Wednesday, stay tuned. I will go ahead and create that flyer now, and I'll go ahead and post it. And if you guys would like to book him for a service, email him info@entremotivator.com, or just go to his website, entremotivator.com. Hit him up on Instagram or whatever you need to do. Hit me up, either or. You'll get in contact with him. His information is definitely going to be tagged. It's tagged all over my page. You'll see it. So thank y'all for tuning in. This has been another
Appreciate it,
installment
brother.
of the
It's
Real
always
Life.
a great show, man. Staying
Anybody you want to give
consistent.
anybody you want to give a shout out to? Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I was just shouting out to you, Benji, man, being able to hold the show down, being consistent, getting it out there for the people, sparing some light, always being able to put out, I know you got a green screen show that's a little more advanced than what I got going on,
Man,
but to be able to have
I'm
people
at
that's
home
always
right now.
on their tippy toes and be able to stay innovating, putting yourself around, when you talk about, you asked me about hackathon, being around people
Yeah.
that's motivated, that is a hackathon. So
They
when
need
it's,
to have one of them out here. I need you. You know what?
you
I'm
know,
finna look up and see if they
so
have
that's
any
but
of
that's
those
but
out
that's why I
here.
connect with people like you, man, because technically that is a hackathon. When you connect with people and you're always building, that's literally a hackathon. You connect, you build. You know what
I
I'm
need to
saying? But
see. I'm finna look into those out here because I'm not even sure if they have them, and even if they don't, that makes it even better because we can start it.
oh yeah, they be
Because I know
everywhere,
some people who
but
I
look
know
them
some
up,
people
see
that
if
will
they
be
out
interested in
there.
coming.
Every
Yeah, I'm
most
about to.
countries,
I'm about to.
most countries they do hackathons. They might not call it that, but they do try to put technology together in every country so that they can involve the country as a whole in
I'm
different
finna. Yeah,
problems.
as a
So
whole, I'm finna look it up. I'm finna. Yeah, I'm finna look
like
it up to see.
Biden,
Make sure
he
that
just did
I'm
the
pretty.
$1 million AI contest, and a few months ago they had a $20 million hackathon. But they're going to keep on doing it because technology is at a point where it's almost like,
It's
even with
advancing so
the
rapidly.
stuff that I'm talking about, literally how have harnessed it. That's what every big company is trying to do, and most of the time they don't have the skill in house to harness it. You know what I'm
To
saying?
do
So
it. Yep.
it's literally about, let's just try to find a free way to recruit people to harness this for
Mhm.
us. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So that's kind of,
Yep.
it's a lot of different ways that people are gonna trying to find a way to harness it. But it's
Yep.
really like, it's almost like mass recruitment until it's mass adoption.
Mhm.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yep. Well, I'm glad that we got our own team. We developing our own team around this, so that we don't have to resort to those drastic measures. So that's going to be my focus over the next few months, probably the next few years, honestly, to the point to where everything is fully optimized and automated, until I really don't have to do anything seriously. Wildcat, wouldn't mind participating in a hackathon. Seems interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna look into it. If you want to follow him on Instagram, Amber, or hit him up, I'm sure he can
Yeah,
point you in the
join
direction
the
of where they have them
hackathon
at in the
team.
States. Or hit
Yeah,
him
for
up.
any of those that want to join the hackathon team, man, hit
Yeah,
Benji
Amber,
up, man. We already got a few people on the team, building applications and building things for people and building chat bots for people, and we practice late technology as well. But it's sometimes it's building and sometimes it's practicing. Got to learn how to differentiate between the two. But definitely welcome for anybody to join the
they got
hackathon
a
team.
lot of geniuses. They got a lot of genius. They got a lot of genius
Right, for anybody that's
tech
live, man,
experts out
join the
here in
team.
Mexico too. And
You said what?
I
Genius
think
in Mexico?
if we yeah, I think if we mix some of our stuff with their stuff, I think we can. Yeah, so it's time to get back to work. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Everybody who is viewing on YouTube, everybody who viewed on Facebook, Instagram, we are live and in full effect. I appreciate y'all. This has literally been almost 3 hours of valid, valuable, groundbreaking information that you are not going to get
I ain't even dropped
on a
the
regular
half
day.
of it, man.
On a regular day, and this ain't even it. Like this right here is me and his normal conversation. We talk for hours, like it's for real. This is how we just you can tell we just had like a normal conversation, and that's the field that I needed to be because we want y'all to understand that we do the shit for real, and we're not trying to like just be this super professional mogul. We're just being ourselves. This is
Yeah,
naturally who I
man. We
am.
taking over AI and tech, so either
Naturally,
join the team
naturally who we are.
get out
You
the
know what I'm
way. I
saying?
guess
Y'all already know
that's
what
it.
time it is. BNG, the Ruler, Street Sleepers, and Mafia. I'm Mob ENT CEO. We are live in full effect. The Real Right Show on all platforms. Tell them how to follow you one more time, and we out.
Um, you may be able to follow me if you can catch me, because sometimes I might disappear,
Man,
sometimes I might not. Right. But entremotivator.com. Right. AI API Samurai. Check me out. Entree Motivator on Instagram too. About to start up my YouTube, man. I just for the last few years I ain't had time to talk about doing it. I had time to
we've been
do
doing it.
what I was doing instead of talking about it. So follow me. If if you can catch me, because sometimes as an AI, I might I, I might end up glitching. So hit me up.
It be like that sometimes. You already know what time it is. We're live in the full effect.
I might end up glitching
This has
to
been
some
another installment of the Real Right Show. We are live in the full effect. We
AI.
out.